Final matches of the Six Nations this weekend, it's a great reason to get your mates round. Sainsbury's, try something new today. Subject to availability, larger stores only, please drink responsibly.
talkSPORT. The radio station that's up for a bit of entertainment and debauchery.
A load of razzle magazines in the bushes.
talkSPORT.
Now, good morning. 14 before 7. Bright and breezy here at Cheltenham. Let's find out where Prince Rupert of Sudeley Castle is. Rupert, he's out in the course. Where are you, pal?
I'm down by the line, the winning line here on the home straight at Cheltenham, and it is blowing a very strong gale here. Now, the reason I'm not talking to Simon Clace at the moment is that there's a bit of a meeting going on, because I've just spoken to Andy Clifton, who's the Director of Communications here, and basically over the next 8 to 9 hours there is a horrendous weather forecast in terms of the wind here, and they are actually having a meeting to determine the best course of action to see what they can do about racing here this afternoon. That's the words that he used. You read into it what you like, but obviously there are probably some contingency plans being taken at the moment. The wind is very strong. It's blowing directly down the home straight, but obviously if the forecast is correct for winds of up to 40-50 miles an hour, it's actually because while we're in the main grandstand, that's not the issue. It's the tented village and the people in there, because they're, I think, when it's over sort of 45, there is a sort of safety limit to when people can be allowed in there. And when you think about it, you've probably got 20 or 30,000 people in there. What do you do with those 20 or 30,000 people? Those are some of the discussions that are going on at the moment.
So, Rupert, what you're saying is racing will go ahead, but there could be a problem with Tented Village. They might cordon that off. I'm
not saying, I'm maybe even saying worse than that, possibly. I mean, Andy wouldn't be drawn into saying that, but they've obviously got to look at every contingency plan. If you've suddenly got 20 or 30,000 people, where do you put those 20 or 30,000 people? Normally they'd have been absorbed into the tented village. So if you think about the discussions, while at the moment, yes, racing is on, obviously they are very concerned about the weather forecast for later on, over the next, as he said, 8 or 9 hours. Well, that takes us from now around 7:15 up to about 3:15, potentially 4:45. So what do? You know, there are some serious discussions going on, I'm sure, not only with Simon, Andy, police, all sorts of people as we speak, and obviously trying to understand what the weather's going to do over the next 8 or 9 hours. So that's what Andy Clifton has just told me, and we have to read into it what we can at the moment, but obviously we should hopefully hear something in the next half an hour or so.
Rupert, camp outside that door, will you, because that is serious news. Obviously up here I can hear the wind buffeting down in Broadway last night as well. Got to bed fairly early, about 10 o'clock. The wind was hurling around the Ligon Arms and Russells, of course. I thought, crikey, and it's meant to be every day. Rupert, keep an eye on that for us, please.
Would anything been called off before, Rupert? You know, a festival like this would have been called off?
I know that they've had abandonments. I mean, if you remember, one year, 1987, the Gold Cup, they had a very heavy snowstorm, and they actually called off, they delayed the Gold Cup till about 5:30.
Yeah, but Rupert, that didn't matter, because we got out of trouble. 5-2 favourite, Fred Winter, half free. Go on, my son.
Yeah, and I backed the thinker that day because of the rain, but because of the snow. But, I mean, there have been abandonments. It has been a long time since the day's been called off. Okay, we lost the entire meeting because of foot and mouth a few years back, but otherwise I can't remember a day that's been abandoned.
Rupert, thank you. Please keep an eye or keep an ear to the ground on that one. There you go. Very, very. In fact, I look out the window here, and it's amazing. You think you're talking about a different country. Honestly, we can hear the wind, but you look out, the flags, yeah, they're fluttering about, but it doesn't look bad out there. But the bad weather yet to come. 10 minutes to 7. Let's go racing with Tomo.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
I am Mr. Ed. We've also got the champagne this week.
10 to 7, hopefully Tomo the winner. I never got near one, you see. Tomo, I have to say, Carberry in the last run, he rode a masterful race. Timmy Murphy hit the front. Go on! on, the crowds were going crazy. The favourite in the last, go on crazy. And Timmy sat there with a double handful.
Paul Carberry, absolutely unbelievable. I've said, haven't I, over the past, I think he's probably the best horseman in the world. He's an incredible...
Tom, he never put Timmy looked as if he had the horse, they had the horse in a prime position, jumped to last, went a couple clear, the roar went up, and Paul Carberry sat there thinking, and when he popped to last, within a few strides, he went past the favourite.
I know, and spoiled it for everyone. Everyone was on Ashgazar, but 14-1 went a Crackeray Jack, giving a first festival success for the lady trainer Emma Lavelle, and of course it was just half an hour early that Paul Carberry's younger sister Nina had lit up the place with winning on guard Champetre in your big race, the BGC Handicap Chase, and that was of course the second winner of the day for J.P. McManus.
Favourite never got in it, got in the race.
No, favourite never got in it. That's racing you can't, but of course he won it with his second string, another Ender Bolger horse. Ender just wins all these races from the west coast of Ireland. I talked to JP earlier on, and his horses finished first and second in the earlier race. Captain CB, somebody had 10 grand each way on that to win 110,000.
Everyone was asking me, why did Tony come off that?
Well,
and then one bookmaker I know said, McCoy's not fit. I said, I knew you'd say that.
Oh, goodness.
Don't talk nonsense.
Oh, absolute rubbish. I talked to him after the race. He wasn't even breathing. He's fitter than I say, many Premiership footballers will ever be. He's unbelievable. And by the way, Chocolate Thornton, absolutely
brilliant.
Outstanding. And, I was joking with him yesterday. I said, it's about time you got a haircut, Chuck. He said, listen, Tom, I've got to keep it going now because it's bringing me luck. He's got these flowing locks, and he had a double yesterday. He was born, a lot of people don't realise, he was born in Darlington, in County Durham, and, he's lived down here most of his life. His dad's one of the finest huntsmen you'll find anywhere. He comes from a lovely family. Mind you, Tom Scudamore came back at him on Osana yesterday, but Tom won on accordion as well. So, I mean, it was great. It was one of those things.
That was strongly fancied. 7-1 favourite. What a price that was. We were having a laugh with John Gaunt. That's the one we should be on. Yeah. Gaunty, they'd rather hear you play an accordion than talk, and it wins us 71.
But that was the thing. I said to him on the morning line yesterday, Tom, I said, now listen, no favourites won this for about 50 million years, and he drifted out to 7-1, and Lamy became favourite, 11-2, and that, I'm certain that made the difference. But it was a super day. By the way, somebody said George Clooney was there. Now, Ronnie, you're a George Clooney lookalike. Do you think they mixed him up with George Clooney? What do you think,
Possibly,
guys?
yeah. I think he might be on the money there. Hey, what about cricket fans out there, Tomo? They're all on Catch It.
Well, and you know what? He is absolutely tiny. He's literally no more than a pony. And to me, I interviewed the winning owners. That's what racing's all about, Ronnie. You've got to share in a horse or two at Newmarket. This is the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, owning a racehorse and being involved in it, it's a wonderful sport. It really is.
Tomo, Rupert Bell talking about this meeting that's going on. I'm looking down at the cross-country course, and the hedges are swaying like the barley in a breeze.
This is worrying, guys, as well. We were thinking it was going to be up north. We had the bad wind here on Monday. We thought it was going to be up north. Indeed, 16 lorries overturned on the M6. That's blocked up north. That's very bad news up there. Now, if it does, obviously, guys, it's still very early. And yesterday, when I got to the start for the first race, there was no wind. It was like a summer's day. So obviously, they've got to monitor, but that is the problem. I don't think there'll be a problem out on the track. Mind you don't want to be blown off. No worries on the ground. It's good to soft. No worries at all. Dry overnight, so perfect ground conditions. But this wind could cause a problem. But come on, let's just monitor the situation. They're going to assess it hour by hour. At this moment in time, it's on, and let's hope it is, because day 2, it's the Seasons Holidays Queen Mother Champion Chase, a fascinating race. Paul Nichols, Ruby Walsham, and Paul, winners on the opening day, masterminded, I think, can win that. But what about Chock Thornton and Alan King, who did it with Catch It yesterday?
What about the first race, Tomo? What about the Ballymore? Ronnie's in two minds here. Yeah. He doesn't know where to back Piat D'Or or Paddy Power. He wants for Paddy the Plasterer, or Ronnie wants either Piat D'Or, Eagle D'Or, or Trafford Lad. Can't make his mind up.
Trafford Lad, it's got to be.
Bolton and Man United can't make his mind up.
Trafford Lad.
And also watch out for Paddy the Plasterer, which is a great name. But I hear there's a horse in the first race called Venelmar, 20-1 shot. Might be worth a small each way, guys.
Tomo, nice one. Let's hope we'll keep you up to date with this meeting that's going on as we speak. Here at Cheltenham, it is terribly breezy. It's going to get worse and worse throughout the day. So we'll batten the hatches down in the coral box. Here's the going reports, and of course, Tomo's top tips.
Now, the news at Cheltenham, you're just confirming it is very windy. We're monitoring the situation at the moment. All systems are go. It has been dry overnight. It is good to soft at Cheltenham. Huntingdon, 6 millimetres overnight. Windy, obviously. It is now good all round. And at Southall, 3 millimetres in the last 24 hours. It is standard but windy. Wolverhampton tonight, standard. That's the news. Here are today's winners.
And is off. More Donkey Derby dialogue with Mr. Derek Thompson of Tomo's Tips fame, the four-legged section of the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Okay, guys, let's go for that 20-1 winner in the first race. And don't miss this. Number 15, Venel Mar, each way, big price, and in the big race. The season's hold is Cream of the Champion Chase at 3:15. Get on the winner. Number 6, Masterminded. Have a good one, guys.
Terribly topical Tomo's Tips on the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast.
Toodaloo.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, founding sponsor of the UEFA Champions League.
This is a fabulous announcement from Yale.com, the brilliant online directory service from Yellow Pages. It's Easter. Spring is in the air. Time for a fabulous home makeover. Think bright, vibrant colors, dangerously sexy curtains, and doorknobs to die for. Log on to the fabulous Yale.com and find everything from interior designers to home staging and feng shui. Darlings, let the paint rollers roll free and wallpaper till your heart's content. Yale.com, the brilliantly fabulous online directory service from Yellow Pages.
Optical illusions can confuse us and make us laugh, like the Hall of Mirrors. But what about the optical illusion that contributes to the death or serious injury of 2 motorcyclists every day? Because our eyes can deceive us. In tests, 96% of us think smaller objects take longer to reach us than bigger ones. It's just the way our brain works. And why drivers misjudge the distance of oncoming motorcycles at junctions. Give motorcyclists a second thought.
Morning, Bob. It's Gordon. I've got a virus. What do you mean? It must be something that's going around. You've got one too. Not me. My computer, you numpty. It's got a virus. Why do you think I was calling you?
If your IT breaks down, you want it fixed there and then. With IT Manager from BT, you get 24/7 support from UK-based experts. So, whatever size your business, you'll be back doing what you do best in no time.
I couldn't give a monkey's what the doctor said. I need to put in a wine order. Look, if you don't get out your deathbed pronto, I'll make sure it's your deathbed.
To find out more about 24/7 expert IT support from BT, visit bt.com/business. BT, bringing it all together. See website for details.
Jane from Sheen, you're on the couch with Dr. Proper.
Oh, hi, Dr. Proper. It's my husband, Peter. I'm really worried. He started eating croissants.
Ooh la la, Jane, the C word. He'll be driving like a loony and asking you to call him Pierre in no time.
Oh, no. I knew it.
Get him a proper breakfast pronto, like the new bacon butty from Burger King.
And that will get him off the, crust.
Absolutely. After tasting that thick-cut, sweet-cure, flame-grilled bacon on a corn-dusted bun, he'll never want a Ponzi pastry again. Tell me, Jane, does he like eggs?
Why? Is that bad?
Au contraire. You can add a fluffy omelette too. Top it off with HP sauce or Heinz ketchup and you'll never have to worry about him bathing in garlic again.
Will he stop going on about moving to Cherbourg?
Jane, he'll be so off the French stuff he won't even want to watch a subtitled film on TV, even if there is a chance of full frontal nudity.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Proper.
The brand new breakfast menu, now at Burger King. Have it 100% your way. Participating restaurant subject to availability. Dr. Proper is not a real psychiatrist.
Now, good morning. Coming up to 7 o'clock, windy at Cheltenham. Big meeting going on, by the way, about health and safety. Coming up in the next hour, we'll talk about Liverpool. What a victory. Hello. Liverpool join the other 3. We have 4 teams in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. We'll talk to Gavin Hamilton, editor of World Soccer Magazine. Ronnie Arani's going outside to see how bad it is. And Alvin Martin coming up in the next hour on talkSPORT, 7 o'clock.
On 1089 and 1053 AM.
Black or white.
Around the world.
Political domination.
Around the clock.
There is mounting chaos.
From the Sky News Centre. Commercial radio station of the year. talkSPORT News.
What's in the box on budget day? Charles and Camilla's dreadlocked holiday.
And Liverpool complete a Champions League clean sweep.
Talk Sport on the Hour News.
Good morning, it's 7 o'clock. I'm Lisa Rose Sullivan. Alistair Darling steps up to the dispatch box for his first budget this afternoon. Unsurprisingly, duty on alcohol and cigarettes is expected to rise, and there may be attempts to kickstart the money markets through new mortgage plans. Shadow Chancellor George Osborne doesn't envy Mr Darling.
The problem Alistair Darling's got is he's completely run out of money, so there's very little room for manoeuvre in this budget, and it means that Britain is not well prepared for the big political and economic problems that are facing the world in the next year.
Well, the big question for most of us is whether or not the Chancellor will up fuel tax. Paul Waters from the AA doubts it.
We've got record high prices hurting people, hurting families, hurting business. It would be unthinkable for the tuppence a litre to go on today.
Stay with talkSPORT for all the key statements from the House with Robin from 12:30. More storms are battering Britain. Winds of up to 85 miles an hour have been pounding northwest England, North Wales and Northern Ireland overnight. There could be blizzard conditions in some parts of Scotland and England later today. The Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police has been found dead in Snowdonia. Suicide is one line of inquiry following reports that Michael Todd left behind letters to his family. A compulsive gambler is set to find out if his bookie will be made to pay him back the £2 million he lost in bets. Graham Culvert claims he was still able to place bets despite asking William Hill to stop taking his money under its own self-exclusion policy. Charles and Camilla are in Jamaica to pay tribute to the legendary musician Bob Marley. They'll visit a museum dedicated to the reggae singer, meet his widow Rita and hear his music performed during a visit to Kingston. In the city, the FTSE's set to reopen at 56.19. If you're off to the Eurozone, you're going to get around €1.25 for a pound.
talkSPORT weather with Andrews Heat for Hire.
Nationwide providers of specialist heating and drying equipment. Call 0800 211 611.
Right, well, we've got severe gales in places, mainly over central parts of Britain, with heavy and prolonged showers for most places at some stage today, highs around 10 Celsius. And for Cheltenham, the Met Office forecast has another gusting, breezy day in store, but says it will be bright and sunny this afternoon.
The men that DC Thompson based Ivor Lott and Tony Broke out of Whizzer and Chips, Brazil and Irani.
Just a daft boy.
On the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Next.
Dodge. Don't just drive it. Grab life by the horns. Take the Dodge Nitro. One tough cookie. The metal might look mean, but your Dodge dealer's feeling generous. So you get the deal you like on the Dodge you want. Nitro, Caliber, Avenger. It's your Dodge, your way. Way 1. Get £2,008 off the list price across the range. Way 2. Get 5.9% APR across the range. Way 3. Get peace of mind with 3 years free servicing. To grab your Dodge your way, visit dodge.co.uk or text Dodge to 83010. Dodge. Tough cars. Hard-hitting deals.
Talk Sport. Sports update.
Good morning, I'm Ian Abrahams. Rafa Benitez says the Premier League is the best in the world after his Liverpool side qualified for the quarter-finals of the Champions League with a 1-0 win away to Inter Milan.
Good run inside the penalty area from Fernando Torres. Right footed shot from Torres. That's the goal that sends Liverpool through.
And the draw is on Friday. In the UEFA Cup, Everton and Spurs have work to do tonight at home to Fiorentina and away to PSV, respectively. 3 games in the Premier League, headed by the game at the Bridge, where Chelsea will move to within 5 points of Arsenal if they beat Derby. In the Championship last night, Bristol City went a point clear after a goalless draw with Watford. Here's manager Gary Johnson.
We're still top of the league with 8 games to go, so it's probably a better point for us than them.
Second is Stoke after a 1-0 win at Norwich. Boss Tony Pulis.
Never 8 important games. I just think it's the team that will be, that can be consistent and get results, and every game's difficult.
Elsewhere wins for Cup semi-finalists Barnsley, Burnley, both Sheffield clubs, Preston, QPR, Scunthorpe and Southampton tonight. Cardiff and West Brom are both in action at home to Hull and Crystal Palace, respectively. Swansea's lead in League 1 is down to 6 points after they drew, and both Doncaster and Carlisle won last night. New leaders in League 2 are Peterborough, who won at Brentford. In Scotland, 2 games, Celtic against Dundee United, Hibs, Motherwell. England's cricket team will show 2 changes for the second test against New Zealand starting tonight in Wellington. Steve Harmison and Matthew Hoggard are dropped. Broad and Anderson come in. Now, the 10-to-1 shot Catchit won the champion hurdle yesterday at Cheltenham. Today is the Queen Mother champion chase for the same partnership. Trainer Alan King and jockey Chocolate Thornton, who rides Voy por Ustedes.
Well, what they're the last 2 years, good ground suits and the track suits him very well. He won't go down, he won't lose his crown without a fight.
Paul Nicholls has Masterminded and Twist Magic in the race. Ruby Walsh rides Masterminded and hopes he's made the right choice.
I couldn't split between Masterminded and Twist Magic, and just pros and cons for them both. And sure, look, the same thing again, you can only ride one of them.
And masterminded is Tomo's first tip. The other each way in the 2 o'clock is Venelmar. And our Cheltenham update, don't forget, is thanks to Coral, talkSPORT's official partner of the 2008 Cheltenham Festival.
On 1089 and 1053 AM, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 6 minutes past 7 o'clock, a windy Cheltenham, goodness me. Welcome to the Sports Breakfast, waking up to Alan Brazil, Ronnie Arani, Prince Rupert Bell, we're at Cheltenham, and our friends, of course, at Ford. Now, coming up, former Liverpool midfielder Jason McAteer tells us Rafa's boys have what it takes to go all the way after a stunning victory at the San Siro last night. Wow! We'll speak to former England captain Alan Lamb ahead of England's second test against New Zealand, and the first England player signing up for the Indian Premier League. Plus, we want to hear from you. Which of the 4 English teams in the quarterfinals would you back to win the Champions League? What ones? Difficult. And after Tony McCoy picked the wrong horse in the first race yesterday, well, did he, or was he told to ride the other one? When have you made a decision or a bet that you've lived to regret? Call us 08717 223344. Email us talksport.net. Text us 81089 50p plus normal sending charges apply. And keep on 1089 1053 DAB digital radio or via the net on talksport.net. Good morning and welcome to TalkSport. Now, very interesting news here from the Cotswolds, from Cheltenham. The sun has burst through some heavy clouds over Cleve Hill. Beautiful it looks. It looks still as you like, but believe it or not, there's a discussion going on. Sources close to TalkSport said the meeting may be called off today. Let's go down trackside. Rupert Bell with Ronnie Arani.
Well, whether called off at the moment, that is maybe. I hope that's a very distant possibility, that one. But Ronnie, we're standing by the winner's post on the home straight here. It's breezy, isn't it?
It's absolutely freezing. Yes, let me said, wherever on the body it is cold. But I think that was one of Edward O'Grady's horses just gone past there, wasn't it? And Martin Brazil. And I've got to ask you a question. Seeing these horses here, it's magnificent. I love being in this game. Tell me, they didn't really come out that early, these horses. Now is that because they maybe get spoofed by the wind or what?
That is definitely a possibility, because the wind is bitterly cold, and it's also not very easy to ride in them. And when you think about it, you can be blown off course or whatever. So the horse went just past us a second ago, definitely looked a little bit leery and not quite sure what was going on. Suddenly a burst of wind. It's going right down the home straight. But I tell you what, it is strong. I mean, the old rubbish bins have been having a life of their own.
Wheelie bins have been all over the place. You've got to wrap up, get the Surridge merchandise on and wrap up. The Polonex are required.
Merchandise?
Well, yeah, don't worry, it's a freebie. It's a freebie, Prince Rupert, don't worry.
All right.
Rupert,
Well,
how bad is it down there? Because we have heard, you told us about the discussions going on. Someone else called up, very close to TalkSport, nice guy. He said he's heard the meeting will be off. Now, I don't want to be a scaremonger. Looking out now, there's no way they can call this off at this moment. No way.
No, but it may not be blowing a gale now, but if they think in 2 or 3 hours' time, the gates open at 10:30.
You call off now, and the wind and the bad weather misses Cheltenham, you can't do that.
Well, no, but then, on the other hand, if you have got strong...
I'm not going to buy London.
No, but if you... No, I don't want to go home. No, but I'm homeless. But at the moment, the issue is, if it's still bad, what do you do with the 20,000 people and it goes bad? That's the debate.
Well, they go without the Guinness, that's why. Still watch the racing, can't they?
Well, they've got to do something. I'll cover up. There's a lot of people working out here, mate. So I'm with you, positive here, Al. I think the glass is always half full, not half empty. It's got to carry on. There's a great day ahead of us.
Absolutely. Now listen, we're going to keep. What about Rupert? As just on the going for me yesterday was just about perfect. If you get this downpour, torrential rain and the wind, can you see it changing dramatically? How bad is it down there?
Oh, well, at the moment, Whether it's going to change dramatically, I don't know. It's strong enough at the moment, but it's not so dangerous. But I can see the flags, Ronnie can see the flags over there. They are blowing very stiffly.
The clouds are coming over rapidly, and as a cricketer, we are serious weather watchers, Al. And,
as a cricketer, you'd have 3 lunches already.
Yeah, possibly. They used to have half a bitter as well between innings, you know, in the old days, old Trevor Bailey. But no, the clouds are coming over rapid here, Al, and my face is freezing. I think the old whiskers, they've got icicles on them.
Yeah, and I've got a dewdrop on the end of my nose because it's that kind of day. It's blowing off. Anyway, I paint a picture there for you, Alan.
Nice one, guys. Come back in. God, I tell you what, he's gone soft, that Ronnie Irani. Honestly, I'm looking out my window here from the Coral Box. This is a July day up in Chorley, up on hill. He's gone soft. Right, we'll find out what's in store for us. John Ketley will join us about Cheltenham. John, very good morning to you. John, we are hearing, and it's not scaremongering, because I'll be devastated if this race meeting today is called off, but that's what they're talking about, health and safety.
Well, I know, and I've actually just spoken to Edgar Gillespie and Simon Clace a few minutes ago, so I suppose you could say I've got my finger on the pulse. Obviously, the situation is quite serious at the moment. I'm due down there today, so I'm hoping that everything does improve through the day. Now, there will be a slow improvement through the day, I have to say. Ronnie's going on there about it being like the middle of winter, and it obviously does feel like that, because the winds are still howling across Prestbury Park. 50 miles an hour gusts at the moment, not far off. But all I can say is, although there will be further sprinkles of rain in the first couple of hours of the day, I think once we get beyond 9 o'clock, we will start to see a slow improvement. Now, I have to say, it will be a slow improvement. You're not suddenly going to find the wind drops out by lunchtime and everything's fine and dandy for a sunny afternoon. It's not going to be like that, but there will be a steady improvement through the morning and particularly through the afternoon. So what I've told Edward Gillespie just a short time ago is that conditions are going to improve as the day goes on. Winds will not be gusting at 50 miles an hour through the afternoon. There will be a much better, lighter wind by that time, but it'll still be breezy, obviously. And even by last race, 5:20 or whatever it is, I think the winds could still be gusting beyond 30 miles an hour.
Of course, last race, John, the champion bumper.
Yeah,
you love your racing, and I'm delighted to hear what you've told Mr. Gillespie and Simon Clace. So that tells me with a bit of luck, could be racing. What do you fancy, John?
Well, yesterday I had 100% success rate. I had Tidal Bay at 7s yesterday. That was my one bet. So I don't know. It's downhill all the way now, Alan. But I have got a sneaky feeling for an outsider in the first race called Lightning Strike, because all my tips, frankly, are weather-related, as they would have to be, really.
Me. Now, hold on, John. I almost looked at that, looking at the form. Lightning Strike. Give us a break.
Don't forget there's a gale blowing. Don't forget the ground is going to be sticky. As it dries up through the day slowly. The ground is going to play tricks on the favourites today. There were no favourite winners yesterday, and it could well be the same again today, who knows. But you'll get some funny results this week with the rain coming and going. But Lightning Strike at 33 to 1, when your quid's in, pound each way is alright, isn't it? But the Tamarin, I do like Tamarin Blur. You know, every year we come to Cheltenham and there's always a pipe on the winner's enclosure, isn't there?
Yeah.
So Tamarin Blur could be my banker of the day.
A tough horse as well. John, listen, fingers crossed for racing today. I'm so delighted because 5 minutes before I spoke to you, we thought perhaps the meeting could be called off. But I'm very encouraged by your words, John. Fingers crossed you're correct. And fingers crossed Cheltenham. It's difficult. They make the right decision. Thank you, John.
They will make the right decision, but what I would say to the listeners is just delay your trip to Cheltenham if you're going today, because, you know, we need to keep awake and keep aware of what decisions are being made in the next 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, nice one, John. Thank you. There you go, and listen carefully to talkSPORT. We'll bring you right up to speed. John Ketley, top weatherman, has spoken to Mr. Gillespie, the boss here at Cheltenham Racecourse. Never mind Ronnie down there freezing. He's soft. It's 14 after 7. We'll tell you exactly what's going on here in talkSPORT.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, official vehicle supplier to the UEFA Champions League.
Bob, Gordon, emergency. My email's down. I know it's Sunday evening. I don't need my IT Johnny to tell me that. What do you think I'm doing? I'm trying to send my chef a last-minute change for my menu.
If your IT breaks down, you want it fixed there and then. With IT Manager from BT, you get 24/7 support from UK-based experts. So, whatever size your business, you'll be back doing what you do best in no time.
I don't care if you're having roast chicken with all the trimmings and the stuffing. If you don't sort it out, I'll personally stuff you. Bob. Bob!
To find out more about 24/7 expert IT support from BT, visit bt.com/business. BT, bringing it all together. See website for details.
Oh, I'm exhausted. My gears are sluggish and my wheels feel like lead. I need a holiday. Do cars get holidays? I should be telling you how you can cut down your CO2 emissions and save money if you inflate my tyres properly, but I am one tired little car. Maybe I can just rest at these lights for a minute.
Are you thinking what your car's thinking? Find out how to drive down your emissions and fuel costs by up to £120 a year at tfl.gov.uk.
Right, Wilkins. This operation's success is all about intelligence.
We better take on Citroen Dispatch, Sarge. Dispatch panel vans come with satellite navigation as standard.
And risk it falling into the wrong hands?
It's all not likely, sir. It's got stolen vehicle tracking.
Excellent. Let's go.
Yes, Sarge. As soon as you remember where you hid the keys. The Citroen Dispatch from the equivalent of £33 a week. Citroen vans, ready, willing and able. Text Dispatch to 84880 for your brochure. Conditions and deposit apply. Business users only.
Any work going, mate?
Yeah, got a CSCS card?
No.
Sorry, mate, no CSCS, no work.
Everywhere I go, it's the same story.
Look, call Insight Solutions Group on 0870 224 0001 and get your CSCS fast. Best of all, if you pass, the test is free.
Insight Solutions Group for CSCS training, testing and recruitment solutions in construction. Call 0870 224 0001 or visit insightsolutionsgroup.co.uk or simply text CSCS to 86688.
talkSPORT Traffic and Travel with QuickFit.
Free battery, brake and tyre checks 7 days a week.
Good morning, just gone 7:15. talkSPORT's Cheltenham coverage course brought to you by our partners, Coral Bookmakers, and of course our pals at Ford. 7:17, I'll tell you about Prince Rupert Bell, what he's just said. It's astounded us here, here in the Coral box. talkSPORT Travel, Jarina.
Cheers, Alan. Well, let's start with delays on the M25. We've got clockwise and anti-clockwise queues due to the closure of the QE2 bridge. In Cheshire, conditions over the Foulwall Viaduct thought to be too treacherous this morning, so the M6 is currently closed both north and south between junctions 20 and 21. Delays either side of the closure. As you make your way out of Sheffield towards the M1 at junction 3, problems on the A630, the Sheffield Parkway. The stretch just after the Catcliffe turn is currently closed because of an accident. That's brought traffic to a stand. And in Dumfries and Galloway, the A751 is shut in both directions because of cancellations at Stranraer Port. The advice today is if you're making your journey by train, allow lots of extra time because most services across the country are subject to some sort of speed restrictions, so it's going to take you, wherever you're going, it's going to take you longer to get there. I'm Jarina Adams with talkSPORT Traffic and Travel.
Right, I'll have double egg, bacon, tomato and a fried slice, please, love.
Yeah, same for me, please. No, change that. Instead of bacon and tomato, I'll have sausage and beans.
For a really perfect combination, try the award-winning Vauxhall Combo range. There's fuel-efficient diesel engines, high-spec and a 3-year or 60,000-mile warranty. Now available from only $7,995. Conditions apply. Price for business users only. Excludes VAT at 17.5%. On the road charges, vehicle excise duty, fuel and insurance. Call Vauxhall on 0845 600 1500.
Oh, and a builder's tea? Plumber's tea, actually.
Combo from Vauxhall Commercial Vehicles. The wheels of business.
On 1089 and 1053 AM, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 19 after 7, Prince Rupert Bell's just come up. He said, don't worry about it, it is windy out there, but we should have temperatures around 12 degrees. But I just said, look at your shoes, Rupert, dear oh dear.
The ones and twos.
Have you never heard about dubbing? He went, I'll talk to my Batman about that. Can you believe it, Ronnie? By the way, Ronnie's just come in as well. He's freezing, as you know what's off. How bad does it get him in Charlie? How bad? He's a southern softy now.
In Bolton,
it's not cold out there. Yes, there's a breeze, a strong breeze, but ain't that cold. So give us a text, talksport.net. Text me 81089. How cold can it be in March up there in Charlie.
Bolton, just off Rivington Pike.
Horrid. Soft.
Freezing up there. Well, we come in this morning with Villa, Matt and Liam. We're in the Ford Galaxy. I tell you what, that was all right. I might have to woo their 6 Ford or even Mark Overden to lend us one of them, Mal. That was pretty handy, that car.
Ronnie, you can't keep taking things in life.
I tell you what,
you're on radio.
I've got to ask you, Al, do Callaway do a polar neck, because we're going to need him out there today?
Absolutely. I think Sue's going to look after you, by the way, and thank you, Sue, for the lovely T-shirts the other day. Brilliant. Thank you. Right, we'll look ahead to the football. We'll talk Champions League last night. Fantastic. Of course, tonight, tomorrow, we have UEFA Cup. Let's say a very good morning to World Soccer Magazine editor Gavin Hamilton. Gavin, very good morning.
Good morning to you.
Gavin, fantastic. 4 English teams in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. What about tonight and tomorrow?
Well, yeah, it's an incredible result for Liverpool. Yeah, and to have 4 teams, English teams in the Champions League is it's really something special. There's a possibility that the English teams could be drawn together in tomorrow's draw. The possibility of an all-English final, gets ever more likely.
Comrades, we're heading to Moscow, don't worry about that. Now, UEFA Cup, we're struggling a wee bit here, maybe apart from the Gers, Rangers.
Yeah, it's a funny old competition, the UEFA Cup, because it starts off in quite an easy way, and you have that silly group stage, and then you get the teams that have dropped out of the Champions League coming in, and it suddenly gets difficult again, and it's proved tricky for the English teams, particularly Spurs and Everton. Ironically for Everton, they come up against Fiorentina, who didn't drop out of the Champions League. They've just been playing well in their own Italian league.
Good side. I watched them beat Juve the week before. They beat Everton, or the weekend before. They're a decent side. This is tough at Goodison, tough for Everton.
Yeah, very tough, and it's a tricky competition now, because you've got some teams who've dropped out of the Champions League, like PSV, who are facing Spurs, and Spurs have got to come past now, 1-0 down. Teams like Fiorentina as well, so it's a tough one. And teams like Bolton are doing really well, and Rangers. So there's some good British representation in the competition. I think there's going to be some British names in the Friday's draw as well.
What about Thursday? Bolton go to Lisbon. Sporting 1-1. Sporting have their way goal. That's got to be tough.
It is tough, but they've done it this season already, having been to Munich and Madrid. So I don't think Lisbon will hold any fears for them. I think they've got a chance of coming through that, because they've got they've probably gone a lot further than they expected to in the competition, and they're gaining experience every game they play. And I think Bolton have got a chance that they can nick that away goal, and that they've got a really good chance.
Do you think Fiorentina will play their full strength side? Have they got one eye on the Champions League and qualifying? What do you think?
Well, it's a tough one in Italy now, because Inter in Serie A are pretty much sort of home and dry as champions. They're pretty much clear of Roma, but the big battle is for 3rd and 4th place in the Champions League spots, because Milan are down in 5th and not doing very well, and out of the Champions League. So, and they're in a battle with Fiorentina and Juventus for those places. So that's the priority for Fiorentina. But they have had a great cup run, and I think probably, unfortunately for Everton, it probably will continue.
Nice one, Gavin. Thank you. Gavin Hamilton, our World Soccer Magazine editor. It must be a difficult job, that, Ronnie, keeping your eyes on the world soccer, mainly in Europe, of course, but it must be difficult.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, he's obviously seen the cream, especially all these European Cup competitions, and great for English clubs out, or British clubs. Sorry, my fault.
I tell you what, Prince Rupert Bell's not happy. Not happy. He's picked up a copy of one of our leading newspapers, The Times, and it says Scots lead rebellion over children's oath to the Queen. He is very unhappy.
You are a beauty. You just made that up.
I did not. He just chucked the Times on the floor and walked out. Prince Rupert will be back.
I'll tell you what I did enjoy yesterday. When the Irish do get a winner, when they've had a punt, and the way they celebrate, they throw the hat up in the air, they punch it and they jump and skip. Yesterday I saw it.
That is the Irish for you.
But brilliant.
They've just done $2,000, right? On the favourite, but another Irish horse wins and they throw tricklers up. Yeah, get in there. They've just done $2,000. Too much Guinness.
Oh, fantastic.
Right, email time.
They're
Hi,
doing
Alan and
cartwheels,
Ronnie.
mate.
The mighty Milan cop it as Liverpool easily get past them. Torres pops up yet again to Kane Inter. Hopefully the little bet with Corals yesterday, first scorer. And do a proper Italian job, says Paul in Liverpool.
Yeah, what would Liverpool do without Torres? I heard someone say that he's a big game bottler. He scored against Chelsea.
You said that and I thought,
no, I didn't. That's not true. That's not true. Chelsea and Marseille, and effectively killed off the game last night. Seems a bargain at 21 million. And maybe a good team like Liverpool have nothing to worry about. About taking his place. Benitez must regret not starting him all the time. Mike from Carlisle, what do you think to that, Al?
You mean Carlisle?
Carlisle. What do you think? I mean, he must do. Benitez, he should have played him all throughout the season,
Give the guy a break. They've just made the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Give him a break, Ronnie, will you?
What about the Premiership?
Stop getting on people's backs all the time. What's wrong
Alan,
with you?
drop that wooden
You're turning bitter.
You dropped a wooden spoon, Al.
Morning, Alan and Ronnie. I've done my dough on sizing Europe. By the way, on sizing Europe, this is Dibsy in Haybridge. Dibsy, he was cantering 2 out. I swear, I watched him all the way around. I was on. He cantered and jumped 2 out. He leant into the winner catch. I thought, what's going on? And he was clearly under stress. That's why he was pulled up. He'd have won that race, Dibsy. Don't worry about that. He said, I've done my dough on sizing Europe. Have you got anything today so I can win some of it back? From Dibsy. Dibsy, I will find out. Listen, we're sweating on Racing Men on, Dibsy. As soon as we know, I will let you know, the banker. And I'm sick of these paddies. I'm picking my own horses today. They told me they're in the know yesterday. I done my brains as well, Dibsy. Today is a different day. Once we get the green light from Sir Rupert Bell, who's down there talking to the boss here, Sir Edward Gillespie, once we get the green light, Dibsy, you're on a winner. All English semi-finals and final would prove that we've got the best league in the world. Liverpool to win from the Southern Scouser. Hi Al, the Moose will be just about fit enough to be a sandbag. Love the show, says Tim in Tonbridge. Keep them coming. Right, coming up, where's my watch? 25 minutes past 7.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, official vehicle supplier to Scottish Rugby.
Think of a number. Any number. Now double it, times it by 184, take away 3 and quadruple it, and you're still miles away from guessing how many new and used cars you can find in Auto Trader Land. For there, quite simply, we have the widest range of new and used cars in the UK. Isn't that dandy? Auto Trader, the world of cars made easy. Online, magazine, mobile.
Here's the deal. At Sainsbury's, it's 2 for £16 on selected cases of beer, including a 10-pack of Guinness, usually $14.29 each. Here's the idea. With St. Patrick's Day and the final matches of the Six Nations this weekend, it's a great reason to get your mates round. Sainsbury's, try something new today. Subject to availability, larger stores only. Please drink responsibly.
Right, I'll have double egg, bacon, tomato and a fried slice, please, love.
Yeah, same for me, please. No, change that. Instead of bacon and tomato, I'll have sausage and beans.
For a really perfect combination, try the award-winning Vauxhall Combo range. There's fuel-efficient diesel engines, high spec and a 3-year or 60,000-mile warranty. Now available from only $7,995. Conditions apply. Price for business users only. Excludes VAT at 17.5%. On the road charges, vehicle excise duty, fuel and insurance. Call Vauxhall on 0845 600 1500.
Oh, and a builder's tea?
Plumber's tea, actually.
Combo from Vauxhall Commercial Vehicles. The wheels of business.
You're not kidding. It did come as a shock. Okay, yeah. I was driving too fast. Got flashed for it. But I wouldn't call it speeding. Maybe 40. I mean, not exactly F1, right? Be honest, we've all done about 40 around here. It's what you do, right? Only this one time I get done for it. Well, a couple of times actually, because that's how I got to 6 points. Whatever. 6 points in my first 2 years. So I've lost my licence. And that means I've lost my job, because I need to drive. No job, no money, no girlfriend. She legged it right away. Plus I can't afford a taxi. So okay, my mum's going to pick me up. Just this once, she said. The thing is, you lose your licence speeding, and you're just a kid again.
Hello, I'm Duncan Bannatyne. Now let me tell you where I'm at, because this makes good business sense to me. If you're starting a new business, you need the right people and the right expertise, right from the start. So, if you're offered a full 18 months free business banking and your own business manager for support and guidance, grab it.
At Lloyds TSB Commercial, we understand what new businesses really need. Maybe that's why more startups choose us than any other bank. For more information, visit lloydstsb.com/mybusiness. Lloyds TSB, for the journey. For free day-to-day business banking, just keep your account within agreed limits. TNSQ4 2007 GB Startup Survey.
Yes? Oh, it's you. No, I don't want to. No, not now. Darling, I'm on the road. Ring me back later. I'll go to hell!
Your route has been updated.
Welcome to the future. The new Medion GoPal P4425 with voice control. Medion navigation systems. Know where you're going. MedionGoPal.co.uk.
talkSPORT. The radio station that can't get into its garage for the solidified bag of cement and those boxes of women's underwear it's storing for its mate Danny from the pub for a couple of weeks till the heat dies down.
talkSPORT. Now, good morning, 7:30, looking out the window, touchwood, we're going to get the green light for Cheltenham today, a meeting going on, health and safety about these winds are going to come, but John Ketley, our top man, said no, it's going to get easier as the day goes through, and it's Coral Cup Day, of course. 7:30, News and Sports Headlines, here's Lisa.
Yeah, and keep it tuned to talkSPORT, we'll bring you the latest as soon as we know what the weather conditions are going to be like this afternoon at Cheltenham. As you've been hearing, gusting winds are causing problems, storms have been battering Britain again overnight. Winds of up to 85 miles an hour pounding the northwest, North Wales and Northern Ireland, and blizzard conditions in some parts of England and Scotland. It is budget day. Alistair Darling stepping up to the dispatch box for the first time. Duty on alcohol and cigarettes expected to go up. We're not sure whether or not fuel tax will increase. The Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police has been found dead in Snowdonia. Suicide is one line of inquiry following reports that Michael Todd left behind letters to his family. And Charles and Camilla are in Jamaica to pay tribute to the legendary musician Bob Marley. They'll visit a museum dedicated to the reggae star, meet his widow Rita, and hear his music performed during a visit to Kingston. The weather, well, severe gales in places mainly over the central parts of Britain, with heavy and prolonged showers for most places at some stage today. High's going to be around 10 Celsius. And the Met Office forecast I have is that for Cheltenham, it is going to be another gusting, breezy day. The winds will start easing, but it should be bright and sunny, if a little chilly there, Ronnie.
Yeah, I know, Lisa. Anyone travelling down to Cheltenham today, please take your time. The winds are horrendous, take that little bit extra time. Or anywhere in the country, just take it easy on the roads out there. Thanks a lot, Lisa. And now we've got the Moose with the sporting headlines.
Cheers. Rafa Benitez says the Premier League is the best in the world after Liverpool joined Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea in the last 8 of the Champions League with a 1-0 win away to Inter Milan for a 3-0 aggregate success. Everton and Spurs with work to do, though, in the UEFA Cup tonight. Chelsea will go within 5 points of leaders Arsenal if, as expected, they beat Derby at the Bridge, Villa, Borough, Pompey, Birmingham the other games. In the Championship, Bristol City are point clear after their goalless draw with Watford at Ashton Gate. Stoke now closed the gap with a 1-0 win at Norwich, and Ipswich were beaten. In fact, they were thrashed at FA Cup semi-finalist Barnsley 4-1. In League One, Swansea's lead at the top down to 6 points. They drew with Tranmere, while second and third place Doncaster and Carlisle both won, and Peterborough at top of League 2. England's cricketers, the team has chose 2 changes from the first test when the second starts in Wellington tonight. Harmison and Hoggard dropped, Broad and Anderson in. And day 2 at Cheltenham, Catchit won the champion hurdle yesterday for the Alan King and Chocolate Thornton combination. Today, Voipor Estedes is the defending champion in the Queen Mother Champion chase. Elsewhere, leg spinner likely to go off favourite in the Coral Cup, and the Queen has her first ever runner at Cheltenham Gold Award in the bumper. Don't forget our Cheltenham coverage and updates thanks to Coral, official partner of the Cheltenham Festival. Finally, boys, I don't know if you've seen it, but Sir Alex Ferguson has learnt French, and in fact is a fluent speaker of French, thanks to the fact he's had Eric Cantona, Patrice Evra and Louis Sahar in the dressing room. Led me to think, actually, here at talkSPORT Towers on the Breakfast Show, we've learnt fluent Brazilian over the years with Al sitting alongside us. Oh, come on, Jimmy! All that sort of stuff, Al. What do you reckon?
I reckon you're a tube.
That was terrible.
Fergie, it may have something to do with his villa down in the south of France.
Has he got a villa in the south of France? I didn't know he had a villa down there. Apparently,
well, that's what he told me a couple of days ago, Miss.
The only villa he knows is in the Midlands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moose Pie, we've got to go because very important decisions to be made as dark clouds sweep over Cleve Hill, heading towards us here in the Coral Box. And Rupert Bell, he's not talking to me, he's disgusted with the Scots. Front page of the Times this morning, Scots are rebelling against the oath to the Queen in kids in school. Prince Rupert?
I'm not happy. Typical. Chippy Scots.
Hello. When listen.
And I'm a Scot, but I don't sound like it.
Rupert,
I'm a Mingies.
when you went into battle, Rupert, who was at the front? Who was first in the line? Who was in there? The Jocks?
The 1st Regiment of Foot Guards, the Grenadier Guards. Not your lot.
That's sorted you out, hasn't it?
I'm getting the producer very irate, throwing his hands in the air as they do, these tubes. Rupert, what's the latest on Cheltenham?
I'll tell you what, I've just spoken to Andy Clifton, who's the Director of Communications here, and they're still having a meeting, but they need, as he said, to try and resolve the situation as soon as possible. So, because racegoers are coming from all over the country, there's an awful lot of organisation that is required for a day at the festival, so they need to make a decision as early as possible. The weather forecast is not good. I know you've been speaking to John Ketley, but they are concerned from a health and safety point of view.
It's aggressive, that one.
With the greatest respect, have a look out there. How can they call it off right now? Look out there. John Ketley has told us, he's told us it will get easier as the day goes through.
But what they're worried about is gates open at 10:30 here. 40-mile-an-hour winds, you have to evacuate, I think, is the tented village. And remember, on Saturday or Sunday was one of the hospitality tents was blown down. So they are concerned. What do you then do with the 15 or 20,000 racegoers who are holed up in the hospitality area? Where do they go?
Pardon the pun, but you have some balls. That's what you do. If the forecast is bright and the weatherman says it will get better, you go with that.
But then, if the worst comes to the worst, what happens? Then who's to blame?
We'll head into Cheltenham, have a jolly up. 25 to 8 o'clock. Rupert Bell will keep us right up to speed. Let's cross to Canary Wharf and Bartley's Wealth, Mr. Hank Potts.
Jump aboard the Luxury Express lift to Hank Potts' Pound Stretcher Penthouse for another rosy-faced, red-braced bullet on the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Good morning, Mr. Potts. How are we, Hank? It's the
morning,
bumper today. Sorry, the budget, sugar. How are we, Hank?
Very well indeed, thank you. I can't understand it. Rupert Bell trying to snide off a little bit early. Can't stand a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind. I think
he's got some fencing to do around the estate.
Listen, boys, the big focus, of course, today is the budget. 12:30, Chancellor Darling will stand up for the first time at the dispatch box.
He wants to stand up and say goodbye, him.
Well, it could be his first, it could be his last budget. We'll have to wait and see on that one, of course. We know it's been a difficult time for him. We've had the collapse of Northern Rock, we've had the capital gains debacle, and of course we've had the non-dom debate as well. I think
what was that, the dom-pom debate?
It should turn out to be like that. This is, of course, where the government plans to charge people who are resident but non-domicile here in the UK a fee of £30,000 a year to stay in the country and not be taxed on their worldwide income. More importantly than that, I think it's going to be a pretty sombre message being delivered about the nation's finances and also about its prospects. I think it's going to be a story of slowing economic growth, disappointing tax receipts and an increase in borrowing. So all pretty miserable on the back of that. And you have to say there's not too much that the Chancellor can pull out of the hat on this one. Remember, Chancellor Brown stole an awful lot of his thunder with a lot of pre-announced tax decisions, including the reduction of corporation tax, changes, of course, in the basic rate of income tax, which falls from 22 pence to 20 pence, and, of course, the abolition of the 10% band rate as well.
Hank, how much, this is all doom and gloom, how much now to say, I've had enough of this, how much do I need to head to Sydney or Melbourne or Perth for Good Day talkSPORT? Welcome. How much do I need? I'm sick of this.
Well, remember, the Australian dollar's actually been pretty strong, so you may need a decent amount of money, I'm afraid. And the bad news, of course,
what,
for you...
What, $100,000 or what?
A bit more than that, one would suspect. The bad news for you, Mr. Brazil, is beer is likely to rise between 1 and 1.5 pence, wine between 8 and 10 pence a bottle, spirits 12.5 to 13 pence a bottle, pack, should I say, and...
a bottle.
A bottle. You see, I'm not much of a smoker. And what else we've got? Fuel is likely to rise by 2 pence. Could well be deferred, though. Remember, we've got the increase in fuel duty expected to come through, but could well be deferred.
Any chance of the fuel getting reduced, Hank, or what?
Absolutely zero chance.
Ridiculous.
I tell you what, oil went to $110 a barrel yesterday. So any chance, any hopes that you've got in relation to cheaper prices at the pumps, I think.
Yeah, but our pound's strong against against the dollar, and we know oil is always bought in dollars.
That is true, but
come on, think about it.
Unfortunately, it doesn't filter through to the prices at the pumps. And remember, 65% of what we pay at the pumps already goes to the Chancellor. He could well be looking for a little bit more, but given the rises that we've been seeing, likely to defer that 2p rise probably for 6 months, but certainly will kick in. Moving on from the budget, boys, it was an incredible day on global markets yesterday. Central banks around the world expanded their securities lending program, concerted effort to add liquidity to some of the most distressed parts of the market. The sheer size was absolutely enormous. It equates to about $250 billion being injected in terms of liquidity. That resulted in a much better performance from the European bourses. The FTSE up around about 60 points. The Dow Jones just got better and better and better. Wall Street closed up 416 points yesterday. 3.5%, the biggest one-day rise in more than 5 years.
Wow.
That, of course, should set us up for a decent session on the FTSE 100. We're currently calling the FTSE up 73 points at the open. Is this the turn of the bear market?
Nice one, man. Go and get yourself a couple of buds on the back of that. 22.8, I tell you what. All right, never mind Australia. Maybe I'm off to Singapore.
talkSPORT Business Update with the Singapore Airlines A380. The most comfortable and spacious aircraft ever to take to the skies.
Now, 20 minutes to 8 o'clock, day 2, Cheltenham. We're waiting to hear if we've got the green light, but we must move on. Father Joe had a mare yesterday. He's raided the plate. He's done an early morning mass. He's dipped in. What has he got for us today? Top of the morning to you, Father.
Good morning, Mr. Brazil. How are you?
I'm skint. That's why I'm skint.
That makes two of us.
Listen to your tips yesterday. So-called the Irish will do this, do that. We've had a mare.
Well, we still had two winners. Unfortunately, we picked the wrong ones.
What about today? Let's look forward. The bottle is half full, not half empty, Father.
Well, exactly. And there's a number of great races today. The Queen Mother Champion Chase, highlight of the day, really, isn't it? However, we've all come over with the bumper.
Yes.
The Irish trained horses have won the race 12 times, the 15 times it has run. Willie Mullins has won it 5 times.
Are we approaching it well? Are we approaching it well, Father?
I think we need to adopt an apt approach today. We
Do
need
you?
to be
Not
very
really corkage.
Well, 14 of the 15 winners had won a bumper last time out. 30, only 3 favourites have won, however. We must be careful. Only 3 favourites have won this race.
Yeah, so what we're doing, Father, are we piling on number 1?
I think we are. Yes, we are.
Good man, good man.
I think we are,
you.
yes indeed.
Bless you, Father. What about, let's get us off to a crack on the first. What do you reckon, Joe? Can we get off the flyer?
Yeah, I think we could. It's going to be a very hot race, very good novices, and I think we might have to go to a French-bred but Irish-owned and English-trained, and Tony McCoy will get his first winner of the festival.
I can't believe it. You're not tipping number 5 for Paddy the Plasterer. I can't believe you.
It comes with some serious political connotations in Ireland. You must be very careful.
Oh, really? Oh. What do you mean by that?
Well, there was a Paddy the Plasterer. He was involved in some government transactions, apparently, but it's named after a well-known...
don't go into that. We'll get in trouble, Father.
I'll leave it, Father.
Father, what about Ronnie's favourite drop? Piat d'Or, number 1. Sorry, yes. Eagle d'Or.
Eagle d'Or, that is the one. Tony McCoy.
We're on that, are we?
All the Man United fans are on Trafford Lad, I think.
Well, there should be 2. However, for Paddy the Plasterer is owned by a number of Sunderland supporters.
They were here yesterday,
That is interesting. I was in the box last night. I better pop up there. Listen, Father Joe, are you in for a good day?
We're in for a very good day today.
But just let me remind you, there's a meeting going on at the moment. They're very worried, very concerned about the forthcoming weather over the next few hours, and there is a distinct possibility, and I'm not scaremongering here, that today's racing could be off. Rupert Bell, Prince Rupert, is down there outside the weighing room waiting for the green light, but it is that touch and go. I know you're in a little chapel not far from the race course.
Say a prayer for us, yeah.
Have you been out for a little walk earlier this morning? He's gone. He's gone. The news was devastating. Oh. He's gone. The father's gone. To be honest with you, Ronnie, we're here in the Coral box, aren't we? You know, Cheltenham, day 2, it's got to be on, surely. But there is a big possibility. We heard earlier it's off. It's not off. We'll bring you right up to speed. John Ketley has told us already. He's coming today. He said the weather will improve. But in the Coral box, here, our official partners, of course, we're snug as a bug in a rug. We'll bring you the news as soon as we can. Coming up, talkSPORT Travel coming next.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, official vehicle supplier to the RFU.
Introducing and explaining Bog Off from SafeStar UK Windows and Doors. Thank you. B.
Buy.
O.
1.
G.
Get.
O.
1.
F.
Free.
Yes, for every single window or door that you buy, you get another absolutely free. There's flexible monthly payments to suit everyone's pocket, and they offer to beat any genuine like-for-like quote. It's as simple as it sounds. Bog Off. Buy one, get one free. Don't dilly-dally. For a free quote and an incredibly simple offer, call SafeStar UK on 0800 106 107 now.
Terry, how come you got more money than me this week?
Because I've got a construction MBQ and CSCS skill card from Insight Solutions Group, the same company who got me CSCS health and safety.
It sounds great, but I haven't got the money all the time.
Look, soft lad, Insight assess you for free, and they come to you, so you don't lose work.
Get a recognised qualification in construction. Visit insightsolutionsgroup.co.uk or call 0870 224 0001 or text NVQ to 86688. Insight Solutions Group for NVQs, CSCS training and recruitment solutions in construction.
Your attention, please. Nivea for Men has further advice regarding their new shaving products, Extreme Comfort Shaving Gel and Balm. They make shaving extremely pleasurable, but an extremely small number of men are finding it extremely difficult to stop. If you're at risk of excessive shaving, you can wear protection. You may notice that some extremely hairy men wear gold chains. They're not necklaces, they're barriers between shave and no-shave zones. Nivea for Men Extreme Comfort Shaving Gel and Post-Shave Balm. Shave responsibly.
We're offering tyres by the pair at National Tyres and Auto Care. The savings are there for all to see. When you buy one tyre, get one free. Buy one Barham or Avon tyre and get one free on selected sizes. Call for a quote on 0800 687 687. National Tyres and Auto Care. Buy one, get one free.
Is it strange to believe that problems are a joy? Not to Honda. You see, when you know that the real thrill of a glitch is the chance to do it better, something happens. You start to relish them. Soon, every puzzle's a playground. You're cock-a-hoop with every quandary. In fact, the bigger the problem, the brighter the opportunity. Cleaner engines, cars that go further on one tank of fuel. The real joy of problems is finding solutions, and the only problem becomes not having problems at all.
talkSPORT Traffic and Travel with QuickFit.
Book your MOT online, give them a ring, or drive into your local QuickFit.
Now, good morning, just gone 7:15. We've sent Prince Rupert of Sudley down to the tented village just to see if they're flapping about the tents down there. First, if you're on your way, be careful, strong winds. talkSPORT travel, Ginny now.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, it's very dangerous driving conditions once again this morning with severe weather warnings issued across the country. Let's start on the M25. We've got long clockwise and anti-clockwise delays beginning to build up because the QE2 bridge is closed. That means there's restrictions at the Dartford Tunnel. An earlier breakdown on Hertfordshire's M1 has left us with a southbound queue from the Tollington services down to the edge of the roadworks at Junction 8. Big problems in Staffordshire this morning. The A50 in Doveridge is shut eastbound around Junction 7 for the A515 for the recovery of two lorries which have tipped over, affecting you as you move across Staffordshire into the East Midlands. The Thirlwall Viaduct, conditions over that are thought to be treacherous, so the M6 is currently closed both ways between 20 and 21. In Leeds, we've got problems on the inner ring roads, a breakdown on the A58M causing eastbound queues, and Dumfries and Galloway, the A751 in Stranraer, still closed so lorries can be parked up because of disruption at the port. I'm Joanna Adams with talkSPORT Traffic and Travel.
The new Audi A4 has an option called Drive Select. It's a feature that lets you choose from 3 different driving modes to suit your driving style. Each one sees the road slightly differently. Choose the dynamic mode and the car will feel sportier and more responsive. Comfort mode makes for a drive that feels altogether more relaxing, while automatic mode lets the car decide which mode is best suited for the road conditions. The new Audi A4 sees things before you do. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
On 1089 and 1053 AM, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. By the way, Rupert Bell, or Prince Rupert of Sudley, as we're calling him, the Squire, he's down at the tented village, I promise you, and he said it's terrible. They're strapping down stuff, they've sealed it off. So, I look out the window here, Coral Box, it looks fine, but clearly there's a problem down on the ground. So we'll bring you right up to speed. If you're coming to Cheltenham, keep coming. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. Look, John Ketley, top man, loves his racing. He said the weather will improve right throughout the day. So for me, that's good enough, but I'm not Edward Gillespie. So as soon as we know, we'll let you know, but keep coming until we hear otherwise. All right, what about Liverpool last night? Fantastic. Let's hear from Rafa.
A difficult game against a good team. The first half they had 2 or 3 chances, we had also 2 or 3 chances, and after when we scored the goal, it was a massive difference. Yeah, we knew that they were good in the air, so we were trying to control, to be more defensive, and Kara and Skrtel and Sami, they are, all of them are good in the air, so we could control Ibrahimovic or Julio Cruz, because both players are good in the air.
Rafa Benitez talking to the Sky after a magnificent 1-0 victory last night. What a result. Now we have the big 4 in the quarterfinals for the big one, the Champions League. Alvin Martin was watching for talkSPORT. Al, what a result.
Yeah, brilliant result. That's what it was all about last night, Al. They obviously picked the right, or Rafa picked the right team, got the big performance that they needed. Torres on fire at the moment, and what a great finish by him to actually put the tie beyond all doubt.
It's good to see as well, Alvin, all these off-the-field antics are not coming in the way of the players. They're focused, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. I think there's a lot of the time, Ronnie, you have stuff going on like that's at Liverpool at the moment, financial or takeovers. And I think sometimes when players aren't playing well or teams aren't getting results, I think it's an excuse that's put forward. But I don't really feel that it ever does affect the players. Unless you're not getting paid, unless you're getting that goal from the misses, I think the players tend to just focus on their football, and that's certainly what they've done since the Barnsley result, which was a poor result for Liverpool. 6 wins, 6 great performances, and I think when the criticism has been its most fierce, that's when the players have responded. So it's brilliant for Rafa Benitez and Liverpool.
Alvin, it's brilliant for English football, the Premier League. Who's geared up to win this? Chelsea? Arsenal, Liverpool or United?
You know, I was looking last night, after the game at the San Siro, we started to look at who was left in, and I've got to say it's anyone from 6. I don't really feel that Fenerbahce or Schalke can win it. I think it's Roma, it's Barcelona, and it's the big 4 in England. I tell you what, you get good odds on Roma at the moment. I think they were 33-1 after the tie last night, so if you're looking for a good value bet, then maybe Roma's is your team, but certainly any of the top 4 of the Premiership sides left in can still win it out.
What about tonight? Everton up against, well, we get tonight and tomorrow. Tonight's games, Everton, Fiorentina, Porky Paddy's headed up there. 2-0 is going to be tough for Everton, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think, you obviously need a goal. You're back in it again. First goal is going to be vital, and that was what last night was all about, Al. I think if Inter Milan had got the first goal, the whole tie would have opened up, but it's 2-0. Obviously, you get the first goal, and then a little few jitters start to go into Fiorentina. They get a little bit more confidence, Everton. So the first goal will obviously make or break that tie.
PSV, great result at White Hart Lane. It's going to be tough for Tottenham over there.
Yeah, I think PSV is the best side that they've played up to now. The Champions League experience, and it showed on the night, didn't it, Al? I think, that maybe Tottenham have got to move up a gear. They have got another gear. I didn't think they did themselves justice in the first game, but they're obviously going to have to keep it very tight, and Berbatov and Keane are going to have to produce the goods. They have done it. They are capable of it, so they're still in that tie as well.
Alve, tomorrow night, Sporting versus Bolton, Ronnie's second team, and Werder Bremen against Rangers.
Hey, you like that, Al? It's a good one.
Yeah, I think, well, again, wouldn't it be a fantastic week if obviously...
Come on, the Jers.
Sorry?
Come on, the Jers.
I'll tell you what, Al, it wouldn't be worth living with it your life, with Adrian Durham and Ronnie on your shoulder, mate.
Yeah, but Durham's a plastic supporter, isn't he? He doesn't know who he supports.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. I think, the British teams are dominating Europe up to this point. Let's hope it can continue.
Alvin, nice one. Thank you, Alvin Martin there. What? Now, let's be honest. Liverpool struggling in the Prem. Well, not of late, but they've had an up and down season. The problem with Hicks and Gillette, Dubai, Rafa's going to lose his job. Let's be honest, the way Liverpool have come through in the last few weeks, to beat them home and away, okay, against 10 men, that doesn't matter. Fantastic. Let's hold our hands up.
Oh, brilliant. And the surprising thing, the element again, is Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea, all 4 through to the next, the quarterfinals of the Champions League, but not in the FA Cup, Al. Just incredible, really.
Amazing. morning. Mind you, I tell you what, God dear, I'll try to pick myself up here. Simon Clare from Coral has just walked into the Coral box. He can hardly walk the readies in his pockets after yesterday. He can hardly walk, the man.
I must admit, he's got a huge smile, the length of this box, and it's a big box in here. I mean, Alan just about fits in it, but it's a massive box. Sideways.
Why have you got your scarf on again, you tube? It's not cold in here.
I was freezing out there, Alex. It's taken me about 40 minutes to warm up. But it was freezing cold. The wind, but yeah, it's, must admit, a bit warmer in here.
Unbelievable, eh? Yeah. I bet Charlie's colder than where we are now.
Bolton, what was this Charlie? Oh, it's Mariner.
Yeah.
Paul Mariner.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it like you? Just up from Bolton,
6 minutes before 8 o'clock now. If you're heading to the festival, the Cheltenham Festival this week, you'll need to know what's going on, right? So make sure you pick up a copy of today's Sun for your 8-page essential guide to the festival. Includes a daily favourite guide, a column from former racing star Johnny Francombe, top man, plus content from top jockey Paul Carberry in the last yesterday. He was sensational. He was brilliant. I was counting my readies till he popped the last. Claude Duval, the punter's pal, his daily insight from the track, plus daily top tips for all our punters.
Yeah, this is brilliant. A lot of people in the Sun and News of the World here yesterday, but you can get your hands on a free £5 online bet. So if you're up to the minute's racing coverage, just visit the Sun online and make sure you don't miss the Sun today, every day, every colour, every other day, guaranteed, bang on.
Dave Stevens walks in as well from Coral. Why is he all suntanned? Who says bookies have a hard life? Honestly,
I must admit,
Simon can't walk with readies in his pocket. Dave Stevens just walked in. He's just been in the Ilikai Hotel with, what's his name, Steve McGarrett. Aloha. Unbelievable, the holidays this guy have.
God, these bookies do wind you up, don't they?
talkSPORT's Cheltenham coverage, we'll get it back today, is brought to you from the Coral Bookmakers, talkSPORT's official partner of 2008 Cheltenham Festival, coming up 5 minutes before 8 o'clock.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with the Ford Focus. Feel the difference.
It's great to see you, Uncle George. Now, keep in touch, won't you?
Yes,
Here's our email address. So much easier with email, isn't it? Drop us a line anytime.
Oh, dear.
Ever think today's online world is leaving you behind? Don't worry, catching up isn't rocket science. Just visit a UK online centre. We've got people who'll show you how to use computers and the internet, so you could be doing things like checking benefits, enjoying hobbies and keeping in touch, all online.
Thanks for the pics you attached to your email. Hasn't Joe grown?
What could you do online? For your nearest UK online centre, call 0800 77 1234.
Some good things only happen once a year. Your birthday.
Hooray!
Christmas. And car insurance renewal day. It's not normally a day for celebration, unless you go to comparethemarket.com. With more choices than ever before, and no hidden extras, at comparethemarket.com, almost everyone in the country could save. Happy Insurance Renewal Day. For cheaper car insurance, comparethemarket.com.
Oh dear, it's raining again, 118.
Never mind, 118. We can go to the indoor five-a-side pitches, or the ice skating rink, or the swimming pool.
Oh, okay, I'll go get changed. Get more out of winter with the 118 team.
My word, you can't go swimming in those 118. They're far too revealing.
But these are my football shorts, 118.
Calls cost 19p per minute, plus a 69p one-off charge from most landlines, but calls from other networks may vary.
Optical illusions can confuse us and make us laugh, like the Hall of Mirrors. But what about the optical illusion that contributes to the death or serious injury of 2 motorcyclists every day? Because our eyes can deceive us. In tests, 96% of us think smaller objects take longer to reach us than bigger ones. It's just the way our brain works. And why drivers misjudge the distance of oncoming motorcycles at junctions. Give motorcyclists a second thought.
The Renault Clio Freeway. 59 monthly payments of £99, nil deposit. First payment of £198. Dealer deposit contribution £1,394. 9.4% APR. Amount to be financed £6,101. Optional final payment £1,949. Total amount payable £7,988. On the road retail price £7,495. Only while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply from participating dealers only. Separate offers apply in Northern Ireland. which doesn't leave much time to say the Clio is a really stylish car with a nippy 1.2 16-valve engine. If you buy one, members of the opposite sex will think you're dead cool and probably want to make lots of babies with you. Visit offers.renault.co.uk or call 0800 52 51 50 for details.
Now, good morning on talkSPORT. 3 minutes before 8 o'clock. Coming up in the next hour, we've got the betting with Dave Stevens, of course. Alan Lammy will be here. We've got a proper cricketer. Jeff Probyn, of course, on the rugger. And I'm not having it. I'm looking out the window of the Coral Box. This meeting must go ahead today. It's all about the Tented Village. Close it. Let them come to bars in the main grandstand. It's got to go ahead on talkSPORT.
1089 and 1053 AM.
This is my genuine belief.
Around the world.
I just said no.
Around the clock.
That is the clear message.
From the Sky News Centre. Commercial radio station of the year. talkSPORT News.
Will the wind halt racing at Cheltenham? What's coming up on Budget Day?
And a Premier League clean sweep in the Champions League.
talkSPORT on the Hour News.
Good morning, it's 8 o'clock, I'm Lisa O'Sullivan. We're waiting for the green light from Cheltenham as storms batter Britain. There are health and safety concerns, as you've been hearing here on the Sports Breakfast, as gusts pummel the course. Weatherman John Ketley's been telling Alan Brazil and Ronnie Irani about the advice he's given the festival's chairman.
So what I've told Edward Gillespie just a short time ago is that conditions are going to improve as the day goes on. Winds will not be gusting at 50 miles an hour through the afternoon. There will be a much lighter wind by that time, but it'll still be breezy, obviously.
It's Budget Day. Alistair Darling steps up to the dispatch box for his first budget. Unsurprisingly, duty on alcohol and cigarettes is expected to rise. There may also be attempts to kickstart the money markets through new mortgage plans. The Chancellor, though, is thought to be planning to delay a tuppence increase to fuel tax. The Green Party's Darren Johnson reckons Mr Darling could make some friends by following Ireland's lead with a plastic bag tax.
It's brought plastic bag use down by 90-odd%. It's been a very popular tax, and there aren't that many taxes that are popular.
Keep it with talkSPORT for all the key statements from the budget from the House with Robin from 12:30. A post-mortem will later try to establish how the head of one of Britain's biggest police forces died. The body of Michael Todd, the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, was found at the bottom of a cliff in Snowdonia. And Prince Harry's been turned into a Lego character, complete with machine gun and battlefront stubble. The one-off creation of Canadian artist Sarah Mackenzie made the model in tribute to Harry's stint in Afghanistan. In the city, the FTSE's just reopened at 56.90. If you're going to stateside, a pound's going to buy you around $1.91.
talkSPORT weather with Andrews Heat for Hire.
Nationwide providers of specialist heating and drying equipment. Call 0800 211 611.
Well, we've got severe gales in places over central parts of Britain with heavy rain across the country. But how's it looking for Cheltenham? John Ketley's been taking a look.
Although there will be further sprinkles of rain in the first couple of hours of the day, I think once we get beyond 9 o'clock we will start to see a slow improvement. Now I have to say it will be a slow improvement. You're not suddenly going to find the wind drops out by lunchtime and everything's fine and dandy for a sunny afternoon. It's not going to be like that, but there will be a steady improvement through the morning and particularly through the afternoon.
Hello, Chiners. I'm no Ronnie Irani. I'm Alan Brazil's Auntie Fanny. I wear chain-link fencing for necklaces. Brazil's presently tattooing a picture of William Wallace onto Ian Collins' arse with an old biro. But he'll be back after this rubbish. And he'd better have washed his hands.
Jeep, the original 4x4. All the rest are called SUVs because they just can't call them Jeeps. Now, Jeep Patriot has been awarded 4x4 of the year by 4x4 and MPV Driver magazine. So get your Jeep your way. Way 1. Get up to 2,500 pounds off the list price on selected models. Way 2. Get 4.4% APR on selected models. Way 3. Get peace of mind with 3 years free servicing. To get your Jeep your way, visit jeep.co.uk or text Jeep to 83010. Jeep. Everything else is just a 4x4.
talkSPORT. Sports Update.
Good morning, I'm Ian Abrahams. Start first with football. Liverpool are into the quarter-finals of the Champions League after a 1-0 win last night away to Inter Milan.
Good run inside the penalty area from Fernando Torres. Right footed shot from Torres. That's the goal that sends Liverpool through.
Well, they join Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United in Friday's draw. Rafa Benitez calling the Premier League the best league in the world. In the UEFA Cup tonight, Everton and Spurs with work to do. Chelsea will go 5 points behind leaders Arsenal in the Premier League if they beat Derby at the Bridge. 2 other games at Villa Park and Fratton Park. In the Championship, Bristol City a point clear after their goalless draw with Watford last night. Manager Gary Johnson.
We're still top of the league with 8 games to go, so it's probably a better point for us than them.
Stoke are hot on their heels. They won 1-0 at Norwich. Here's boss Tony Pulis.
Never 8 important games. I just think it's the team that will be, that can be consistent and get results, and every game's difficult.
Elsewhere, wins for FA Cup semi-finalists Barnsley, Burnley, Sheffield United and Wednesday, Preston, QPR, Scunthorpe and Southampton. In League One, Swansea are 6 clear at the top. They were held at home by Tranmere. Wins for Doncaster and Carlisle in 2nd and 3rd. Peterborough lead League 2. 2 changes for England's cricket team that play in the second test against New Zealand in Wellington tonight. Harmison and Hoggard have been dropped. Broad and Anderson come in. Now, today's highlight at the Cheltenham National Hunt Festival, it's Queen Mother Champion Chase. Tamarind Blur is into 72 from 4-1. The 11-4 joint favourite is Voipor Estedes, the Mount of Chocolate Thornton.
I said before this week that I thought Voipor Estedes was my best chance of a winner. He's the champion, he loves it round here, he'll be 110%. Yeah, he's back to his best, I'm quietly confident.
Shares favouritism with Masterminded, trained by Paul Nichols.
He's only 5-year-old, just inexperience might just count against him a little bit, but he's a good horse.
You can get 10-1 against Fair Along, who's trained by Philip Hobbs.
On all the rating, there's, the top 4 are some way clear of us, and he's got a bit to find.
Our Cheltenham update thanks to Coral, talkSPORT's official partner of the Cheltenham National Hunt Festival. Finally, we've been revealing this morning Alex Ferguson has been said to be fluent in French, and he wants to speak to his foreign stars in their own language. Apparently he talks to the likes of Evra, Saha and Silvestre in their native tongue. Probably why he's being dubbed this morning Sir Gallic Ferguson.
On 1089 and 10:53 a.m, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock, still waiting for the green light. Surely it's got to come. Cheltenham races, yes, it's windy, it's breezy out there. John Ketley's coming races. Top man, he told us, no, the weather will improve. It's the tented village we're told is a problem. Well, with the greatest respect,
close it down.
Close off the tented village and you come up to the coral box. Everyone's mentioned.
Yeah,
everyone's welcome.
Wrap up while it's freezing.
Sorry, Simon. Sorry, Dave. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're to what about last night's result for Liverpool? Wonderful, eh? Wonderful. The big 4 in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Who's going to win it? talksport.net. Text us 81089. Emails coming next. Ronnie, who we got coming up?
Oh, we're going to be chatting to former England captain Alan Lamb, who joins us at England's second test against New Zealand.
There was a batsman.
Yes, he was a great player. I nicked him out once. He didn't walk for caught behind. Ridiculous. Anyway, Mascarenas becoming the first England player to sign up for the Indian Premier League. That's massive.
Right, we want to hear from you. Come on, which of the 4 English teams in the quarterfinals would you back the Coral to win the Champions League? Call us now, 08717 22 33 44. Email us talksport.net or text us 8. Almost any charge apply. Keep it tuned on 1089 1053 on the medium wave. Good morning and welcome to day 2 from the Coral Box from Cheltenham.
On 1089 and 10:53 a.m, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
As I look to my right, some of the horses coming out for a breather, a little canter, a little trot, the old burger van's going. That tells us it's got to be on. Let's cross down there. We've not had the green light just yet to Prince Rupert of Sudley. Rupert, how are we?
Very windy it is down here. I'm walking up
Don't you start.
Well, I'm sorry it is. I'm having to lean into the wind, and I'm sorry. I'm on the home straight just below the tented village, and it really is a very strong gale coming into the faces of the horses as they approach the final fence here in the straight at Cheltenham.
Rupert, am I looking at a picture, or am I looking out a window? The little plants we've got here, the flags around us, are still as you like.
Yeah, because the wind is coming from behind you, and you're in the ivory tower glass house up there where you're protected because you wouldn't know there's anything going on up there.
Must admit, turn that radiator down, Al. It's a bit warmer here now.
Yeah.
You've got a point.
Down on the ground in the cold face where I am, I can tell you it's tough down here. But on a serious note, the racecourse executives have been having a meeting for about an hour now, trying to work out the best course of action. Hopefully in the next half an hour or so they will have made a decision as to what they plan to do
Rupert,
with the second day of the festival.
What decision? Well, I'm told from a very good source it's about the tented village. It's not about the safety of the horses, the jockeys, the grandstands for the tented village. If that's the case, this is the festival, World Cup, Day 2 of racing. You close the tented village.
Yeah, but then what do you do with 20 to 30,000 racegoers?
Tough, there's loads of bars here.
There isn't. That's the problem.
Is drink the problem, Rupert? Have you got a problem with drink? You have to have a drink to go racing? Forget it, close it.
Well, the point is, Alan, you're all right in your ivory tower up there looking down on the great unwashed. So you're fine up there, but it's the great unwashed who'll be mingling together. What do they do with them?
Rupert,
That's
the problem. Rupert, the problem you have, you've been raised as a lord, as a prince. You don't know what it's like to tough it out at these sporting events. All right, going to Sandhurst, being an officer, you and your brother, tank commander. Listen, we go. This is National Hunt. You get your scarf on, you get your coat on, and you weather the storm.
Oh, you don't. You stay in a box all day. So you wouldn't know what it's like to get amongst the riffraff. Come on, Alan. You're all right up on the high, looking up from the top of the coral box. When you've got 20,000 race fans, where do you? They probably might all need to go and have a little bit of a light relief in the bathroom.
Rupert, let me ask you this question then. Now, it may be above your head, Rupert. You know, I'm not blue blood like your good self. If you ask 20,000 people, Cheltenham, are you coming today? Yes. Are you looking forward to it? Of course we are. Could you come to the festival and not have a drink and enjoy yourself, the wonderful World Cup of Racing Day 2, or would you like to stay home? We'll cancel it. Unanimously, they'd say,
absolutely,
yeah,
but
we're
it's
coming. So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but it's not their decision. It's Edward Gillespie and his
talk
team.
to him. You know him. He comes round you for crumpets and tea. You talk to him. You know him.
Well, absolutely. I've tried to talk to him, but he gave me the cold shoulder, like so many people do. But
don't bring your brother into it.
I'm sorry. Here we go.
Prince Rupert will be back later. On a serious note, listen, it is a big issue. I cannot believe they can call this off, but there is a health and safety issue, of course, in this world we live in now. You can't sneeze without asking, excuse me, can I sneeze? It's a joke. Dave Stevens from Coral here. Dave, here we are, snug, Rupert's right, in the Coral box. Can I just tell the listeners, we have a selection of specialty breads. We have smoked salmon with dill and mustard sauce. We have chow grilled chicken breast today. And also we have Gloucestershire sausage with a fig. That's good for you, Ronnie. You've had a problem lately. Balsamic chocolate with a mustard mash. Very nice.
That's a ridiculous comment.
Great sounding menu there. I mean, I've got to say, up here in the Coral Box, it's absolutely fantastic up here. Looking out onto Presbury Park, it doesn't actually look too bad. But Roop's down there. I just wonder, is Roop still around? There's a horse running called Sandhurst in the 440 today. Are the Bow Millions going to be on the ex-Sandhurst man?
Possibly. I tell you, you were walking around quite arrogantly yesterday. I weren't too impressed, to be honest. You're giving it, oh yeah, anybody will air bet, just give it to me. You pulled out a wedge of 20s. I thought, here we go, taking money off everybody. But he came in, the cricketer's favourite. Catch it! Sand over the dosh,
you know what I don't understand? Dave here, he looks like, honestly, Hawaii 5-0.
This weather's not doing anything for my tan.
You get Casper the Friendly Ghost over there, Simon Clare. You can tell who the Irishman is, can't you?
I must admit, Ricky Hatton looked like over there.
So this cold weather is doing nothing for my tan, I've got to tell you.
Oh, you bookies, unbelievable. Cash is everywhere.
Before we talk about the Coral Cup, what about the commentary yesterday on the 3:15 water race? Let's hear it.
Out in front, it is still Catch It now, coming to the final flight. Sublimity wide on the outside. Catch It jumps it out in front and is now powering up the hill under Robert Thornton. Can he hold on? Sublimity's trying to rally. Punjabi's also starting to rally. Astana's coming back for more into the final stages. They're very tired as they labour up the hill here at Cheltenham. Astana's coming, closing the gap all the time. Can Catch It hold on? Catch It is just going to hold on from Astana. It's a 1-2 for Britain. A great performance with Punjabi in third. Sublimity, last year's winner, is in fourth.
Thank you, Prince Rupert. Now, fantastic day for Chalk Thornton, wasn't it? Tom Scudamore sat here, he said Osama had a big chance. So hopefully our listeners were on each way with Coral.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, Catch It defied all the trends to win as a 5-year-old. Osana really stayed on really strongly. Shocking day for me personally. I've got to say, Sizing Europe was my bet of the week.
Oh, he was cantering to her.
3 out. I was counting my money. Yeah. Counting my money. I really was. I've got to say, it was a good day for the bookmakers. Not as good as you're making out, Ronnie.
Well,
you weren't here when Crackaway Jack emptied me out after the last
really?
race. Excellent. Not even the bus fare home.
Well, we were on the favourite, Ronnie. I mentioned Catch It to you. You backed each way, drop it.
Last minute as well.
So you got it.
Drop it. Now listen, the cricketers are going to hit you for a dual forecast today. We're going to go at the 4 o'clock, the Coral Cup. We fancy Warren's Way and leg spinner.
Well, I've got to say, leg spinner is the favourite, of course, trained by Tony Martin, very, very shrewd Irish trainer. Landed a huge gamble in this race a few years ago.
You.
And what's the other? Warns Way, big price 20 to 1. The forecast will be huge.
I can't work out. I don't know about the back second division or 3 caps. I'm 2 minds. I don't know.
All I can say, Ronnie, make sure you come to me for your betting.
I will do it again. That wedge yesterday, you did depress me.
Oh no, they are loving it, these boys here. But listen, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're day 2. Hopefully, if Mr. Gillespie sees the light, we'll have day 2 today. We'll get back and we'll have some tips. Hopefully, winning tips a wee bit later on from Coral. Right, coming up is just 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. Text and email, of course. What a result for Liverpool last night. Who's going to win this Champions League? There's 2 pub teams in there. There's Roma, there's Barcelona, and our 4. Who's going to win it? Let us know. Travel coming next.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with the Ford Ranger. Feel the difference.
I loved my job, until one day I slipped and my knee. It's not just my knee that shattered. My whole life has been... I can't work, so my earnings have been... And it really hurts. But the most painful thing of all is that it could have easily been avoided.
To stop lives being shattered by slips, trips or falls at work, visit the Health and Safety Executive's website, hse.gov.uk/shattered lives. Don't chance it. Change it.
Talk Sport on DAB Digital Radio. We told you we were taking the hiss, and you bought one.
This is a walk in the park.
Across the UK, Talk Sport.
Some good things only happen once a year. Your birthday.
Hooray!
Christmas. And car insurance renewal day. It's not normally a day for celebration, unless you go to comparethemarket.com. With more choices than ever before, and no hidden extras, at comparethemarket.com almost everyone in the country could save. Happy Insurance Renewal Day. For cheaper car insurance, comparethemarket.com.
Don't wait until it's too late. Are your tired, flaky old windows drafty and leaking? Are you thinking about DIY? Here's a word of advice. Don't! Just pick up the phone and dial 0800 106 107. Save Style UK will fit made-to-measure PVCU windows and doors in your home, and right now you will receive a free window or door for each one you buy. There's free fitting, free K-glass and flexible monthly payments to suit you. So give DIY the heave-ho and leave it to the professionals. Here's that number again, 0800 106 107. Call now!
Why the long face, Sophie?
It's such hard work, Car Giant.
The pushy salespeople.
Patronising.
The scary prices.
I need a mortgage.
Hard to find just the right color.
Yep.
It's a tough gig, shoe shopping. But you found your car okay.
Oh yeah, piece of cake.
Looking for giant choice and no hassles? Go and see the Car Giant. Car Giant, the only place where giant choice plus giant savings equals giant smiles. If only all shopping was as easy. Find your giant smile at cargiant.co.uk.
One of the most acclaimed films of the year, American Gangster, is now available to rent or buy at Blockbuster. In this epic true story, Denzel Washington stars as Harlem drug king Frank Lucas.
They tried to kill my wife!
And Russell Crowe is the cop determined to bring him down. Rent or buy American Gangster at Blockbuster today. Certificate 18.
Talk Sport Traffic and Travel with QuickFit.
Drive in and get a free brake check report for your car.
Now the talkSPORT Breakfast Show, we're live here at Cheltenham. The horses are doing a nice loosener. They're getting warmed up out there. This morning our Ford Galaxy held the road well, but we kept below the speed limit due to the serious wind conditions. We're going to get the latest update from Dorina and the travel.
Cheers, Ronnie. Well, let's start with delays on Derbyshire's M1. Heavy south towards the scene of an accident just before junction 25. Conditions over the Thirlwall Viaduct in Cheshire still treacherous, so the M6 closed north and southbound between junctions 20 and 21. Stationary traffic either side of the closure. Long delays on Staffordshire's A50. It's closed eastbound in Dovebridge around its junction with the A515 for the recovery of 2 lorries which have overturned, not only causing eastbound delays but also very slow westbound too. We've got some congestion on Hertfordshire's A1M south towards a vehicle fire at junction 6. In Oxfordshire, a tree's come down on the A44. It's blocking the stretch through Chipping Norton, and there's clockwise and anti-clockwise delays on the M25 due to the closure of the QE2 bridge. I'm Dorina Adams with talkSPORT Traffic and Travel.
Suppose for a moment you're driving down a country lane at night. You turn a corner and there's a fox standing in the road. Over here. Your car headlights, however, are still shining. Over here. Well, if you were driving the new Audi A4 S line, the moment you turn the wheel, its optional adaptive headlights turn with it to illuminate more of the road, giving you better vision here, here, and here. The new Audi A4 sees things before you do. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
talkSPORT. The radio station which doesn't know anyone called Malcolm who isn't a bit irregular.
No wonder I never got a bit of crumpet.
Like my sister's ex-boyfriend.
talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 18 minutes after 8. Rupert Bell is back in the Coral Box. We'll talk to Rupert. He's our man who's down there talking to the clerk of the course. And, of course, Edward Gillespie, health and safety. They have to make a decision soon because people, thousands of people, are on the way to Cheltenham. I swear, as I look out, I cannot see the problem. It's the tented village is the problem, health and safety. But we'll bring you, keep coming, we'll bring you right up to speed. They cannot call this off, surely. Right, Ronnie, text and emails.
Yeah, Alan, have you seen the Burnley goal from last night? If Cristiano Ronaldo or Rooney had scored it, it would have been goal of the season from Gazman.
Now, well, we spoke to the manager on Coin, didn't we, yesterday, and he said, can they bounce back? Of course, well, not bounce back, with the high of the FA Cup. You know, has he got to keep them on the toes? And clearly Owen has. Right, if the Moose was in a regiment, we're talking about Prince Rupert Bell, who was down at Sandhurst, of course. If the Moose was in a regiment, Alan, he'd been the one that clears landmines. Oh. Just get me sitting his fat backside down in the middle of the field, and it would set them all off, clearing a space to park the catering truck from Nasty Nick and Windy Calendar in Scotland.
Oh, classic, right. Here we go. Yes, strongest league in the world, yeah, but no English players. Liverpool started last night, and there was two, yeah. And Arsenal started with none. It's going to get worse next year. Saying all that, it could be them two in the final. Don't write off Roma, though. Nick in Harrow.
Alan, 2 weeks ago on the Arc final, this is Dogs Greyhounds we're talking about, at Walthamstow, I wrote out a bet of 8 dogs live on Sky. The bet would have cost me £12. I didn't put the bet on, and all 8 won. It cost me 10 grand. Robbie in Harwich. Have you been to the pier at Harwich lately? No. Lovely. Get down to the pier. I tell you who was there lately. The lovely Ruthie Henshaw. Do you know what I'm talking about, Ronnie?
Ruthie
Henshaw? Come on, who's Ruthie Henshaw?
Ruthie Henshaw.
Oh, your mother. Her mother used to teach one of my girls.
How do I know that then?
Listen, come on, Liam is.
Liam is what?
Oh, no, his mother. Sorry, I forgot it's from Charlie. Family in Italy say Josie's set to take over into next season, says Mick from Sheffield. Let's talk something that Ronnie knows about. Let's talk cricket.
Here we go.
Let's talk cricket. We have a top man who loves a little glass of red and loves the odd pun.
He's got a lovely wine cellar.
He normally mixes with a creme de la creme at Royal Ascot, the Sangster box. We're talking Alan Lamb joins us now. Lammy, good morning.
Hello, Al, how are you going?
Great to talk to someone who knows.
I just want to know, I'm at Cheltenham tomorrow. Are those boxes going to be blown away?
They won't be. The coral box is snug as a bug in the rug, Lammy. We'll get you up here. I've just had the nod from Dave Stevens. You're on. Ronnie, you still need an invite.
We haven't got enough red wine for you, mate, in this coral box.
There's plenty of off-licence. Get your bums down there and go and buy a case for me.
Brilliant. Now, Lammy, what do you make out of this next test match, England versus New Zealand? Poor performance in the last test. Can England turn it around?
Yeah, you know they can, but my biggest problem lies again is that these guys go out. England have not played any cricket, a test cricket, since Christmas, and then what happens is they go out and they have 2 warm-up games, and then they play a test match, and they wonder why the results are not that good. We know that New Zealand are not good, but New Zealand did the basics and we didn't do the basics. The quicker England get out there and they have 3 to 4 first-class games and then start playing test matches, we may improve. You can have thousands of nets back here at Loughborough or wherever you're having your nets, but if you don't have time in the middle, you don't perform.
And the bowling department, Steve Almerson and Matthew Hogarth have been left out for this next test match. I think it's a positive mood. Harmy, as you said, he's not had enough cricket behind him. You know, how can he go out there and perform for England in a test match against New Zealand? So he's been left out. Stuart Broad comes in and Matthew Hogarth. What do you make of that?
Well, I think with Matthew Hogarth and Almerson, they didn't perform. And they should have performed on that wicket. It was a fairly flat wicket, but we saw what the New Zealand bowlers did. But I think what it is also confidence. And I don't think any of those batters have got confidence, because I don't know what has been done or said to Peterson, is that Peterson seems to be moving around in the crease. I mean, he used to stand still and whop the ball.
He looks negative, Lammy, doesn't he?
Totally. I don't know what this thing is. He's trying to build an innings. God, he's never built an innings. He's just gone out there and smacked the ball. I don't think he must change his game.
No.
You know, he was always successful the way he played, so he must carry on playing that way. But I think with these two young guys, I think Anderson's replaced Hoggard and Broad replaced Armisen, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good move. I think it's a positive move.
No, I know yourself and Gucci and Beefy, you know, you like your cash when it comes down to it. There's no doubt about it. Now, what do you make of Mascarenas being the first English player to be signed by the Indian Premier League? I tell you what, Lammy, there's some serious dosh out there. God, you'd be worth about $1 million if you're available right now.
I tell you what, I've been going to the gym. I got stopped at the gym the other day. Someone said, "Are you sure you haven't been signed up for this Indian League?"
Jim's Cafe, more like. What do you make of it, Lammy?
I think good on him. You know, that's fine. He's got the opportunity. Let him earn money while he can. And I think, you know, it's been blessed by the ICC. And if our players get invited, then we must just accept it. I think old Rod Bromsgrove is agreed that he goes and plays, and they're going to be compensated while Mascarenas goes and plays for Jaipur. I think, you know, good luck on him. Let him go and earn some dollars. I mean, that's fantastic.
Lammy, on the social front, you know, I know he's gone, God bless him, but Robert Sangster's box, so we're in the Coral box here at Cheltenham, we'll have a glass tomorrow, Lammy, but those Royal Ascot days in the late Robert Sangster's box were fantastic, weren't they?
Oh, I mean, you just couldn't beat it. I mean, those were you know, there was a waiting list to get in there, but somehow we always used to sneak in, you know. Oh, well, but no, he used to entertain the guys fantastically, and what a wonderful man he was too.
Lammy, you're dead right. We'll see you tomorrow for a glass. Thank you.
I'll do that. Cheers, Al.
Top man,
Bye.
Alan
Cheers,
Lamb
Rod.
there. See, Ronnie, some people say to me about Lammy, you know, I played for England with an accent like that, and they say that about you, with your accent.
A Bolton accent. I'm an Essex boy. I tell you what, I've got Lammy out once, nicked behind, caught behind, umpire didn't give it out. I think it was David Constant. It was Constant. He didn't give him out. Big edge, literally in front of first slip. And a big appeal, and Connie went, "Young man, don't appeal like that, too loud." And he gave me a ticket off. And you know what Lammy said afterwards?
I was with Lammy the night before.
And the next over, Lammy was talking to Connie. He says, hey, Levitt China, I see you round at our house later for a glass of wine. He had the umpire round at his house for a bottle, and he never gave him out. No wonder. Oh, it was a disgrace. I couldn't believe it. He said it so I could hear it as well.
Right, Dave Stevens from Coro here. What about England? What about the chances, Dave? What's the odds?
Yeah, I've got to say, we're siding with England once again. I'm not quite sure why after that dismal first. They're 6-4 favourites, England.
What are you talking about? They're going to come back.
Same price to draw, 9-4 New Zealand. But, Ronnie, just talking about Ruthie Henschel, are you telling me you didn't take in the Wigan production of Les Miserables?
All the time, mate. I couldn't afford it. So, come on, then. England are going to bounce back for this test match. They're going to take this one, they're sure. Anderson's going to nip in with wicket, Stuart Broad's going to come in, and Kevin Peaton's going to strike on with a century.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, New Zealand, having said that, our odds on to win the series, only 2 tests left. But let's hope England, minus Harmison and Hoggard, can bounce
What's
back.
the draw?
The draw is a 6-4 shot.
6-4, there you go. Dave Stephen from Coro, Alan Lamb on talkSPORT. We'll be in the Coro box tomorrow here at Cheltenham. The big question is, will we be racing today? And it's a serious question. We'll find out after the break. 8:26.
Top of the form on the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Live from Cheltenham on talkSPORT with coral.co.uk. Online and telephone betting.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, founding sponsor of the UEFA Champions League.
Is it strange to believe that problems are a joy? Not to Honda. You see, when you know that the real thrill of a glitch is the chance to do it better, something happens. You start to relish them. Soon, every puzzle's a playground. You're cock-a-hoop with every quandary. In fact, the bigger the problem, the brighter the opportunity. Cleaner engines, cars that go further on one tank of fuel. The real joy of problems is finding solutions, and the only problem becomes not having problems at all.
Don't let today's online world leave you behind. Find your nearest UK online centre by calling 0800 77 1234 and catch up.
Yes? Oh, it's you. No, I don't want to. No, not now. Darling, I'm on the road. Ring me back later. I'll go to hell!
Your route has been updated.
Welcome to the future. The new Medion GoPal P4425 with voice control. Medion navigation systems. Know where you're going. Mediongopal.co.uk.
In Auto Trader land can be found a very wonderful thing, a search engine. Tap in a word, let's say saloon, or spacious, or hatchback, and it will find the perfect saloon, spacious, or hatchback car for you. Tap in anti-disestablishmentarianism, and nothing at all will happen, because that's silly. Auto Trader, the world of cars made easy. Online, magazine, mobile.
Here's a question for all you sports fans. Do you know that you can get tickets for the RBS Six Nations tournament on Viagogo? With just weeks left in the tournament, now is the time to get tickets for the final matches, including Wales versus France and England versus Ireland at Twickenham on March 15th. And if you want to see the action from the stands, you've got to go to Viagogo. Tickets are available for every game of the tournament, and best of all, Viagogo offers a 100% guarantee that your tickets will arrive in time for the game. To get your RBS Six Nations tickets, or tickets for other sports, concert and theatre events, just go to Viagogo. That's Viagogo. Go to viagogo.co.uk today.
My perfect weekend? It would be on the Norfolk Broads in a cosy boat made for two. We'd pull up somewhere quiet and listen to the peace on the gently lapping water, drink a good bottle of wine, eat some great old-fashioned food, like stew and dumplings, and then just cuddle up. Bliss.
Discover romantic English weekends from the people who've had them. England's best-kept secrets revealed at enjoyengland.com.
Across the UK on 1089 and 1053 AM and
you're fed up
on DAB digital radio. TalkSport.
Now, good morning, 8:30. We'll get Rupert Bell. He's down there talking to the executives. We'll get your decision whether Cheltenham is on or off. That's after the news and sports headlines. Here's Lisa.
Thanks, Al. And as you've been hearing on TalkSport for the last hour or so, there has been doubt over whether day 2 of Cheltenham will go ahead. If you are planning on heading to the festival, hang fire. We'll bring you the statement as soon as we get it. Things are not looking good. It's a health and safety issue. There are concerns over the temporary structures in the high winds. The tented village, of course, home to upwards of 15,000 festival goers each day. And we'll have a decision from Cheltenham very soon, and we'll bring it to you first here on TalkSport. Elsewhere, Alistair Darling widely expected to freeze the duty on petrol in his first budget as Chancellor. He had planned to raise the tax by tuppence a litre, but soaring oil prices may have forced him to change his mind. Don't expect him to do the same on alcohol or cigarettes, though. A post-mortem will later try to establish how the head of Greater Manchester Police died. Chief Constable Michael Todd was found at the bottom of a cliff in Snowdonia yesterday. And Barack Obama has stretched his lead over Hillary Clinton in the race for the Democratic presidential nomination. He's triumphed in Mississippi. Attention now turns to Pennsylvania next month, where 158 delegates are up for grabs. So the national forecast, severe gales in places mainly over central parts of Britain, with heavy and prolonged showers for most places at some stage today, highs around 10 Celsius. And as John Ketley was telling us about an hour and a quarter ago, at Cheltenham the weather is getting better, but it is another gusty, breezy day in store. There will be bright sunny spells this afternoon, but feeling cold.
That's right, keep it tuned to TalkSport, 1089 and 1053. You're going to get the latest update from Cheltenham. It's going to be live and direct. First of all, we've got the sporting headlines with the Moose.
Rafa Benitez says the Premier League is the best in the world after Liverpool joined Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United in the last 8 of the Champions League with a 1-0 win away to Inter Milan. Certainly work to do there for Everton and Spurs tonight in the UEFA Cup. Chelsea will move 5 points to within 5 points of Arsenal if they beat bottom club Derby in the Premier League. In the Championship, Bristol City a point clear of Stoke after last night's games. Wins for Barnsley, Burnley, both Sheffield clubs, Preston, QPR, Scunthorpe and Southampton. In cricket, 2 changes for England for the second test starting against New Zealand in Wellington at 9:30 our time tonight. Steve Harmison and Matthew Hoggard drop. Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson come in. And finally, Barnsley's FA Cup heroes have been promised £10,000 a man if they beat Cardiff and reach the FA Cup final. Simon Davies' Giant Killers got £1,000 each after beating Chelsea in the last round.
Well on, Moose, and hopefully those two boys missing out, Harmiston and Hoggard, a positive move for England, and hopefully we can nail the next test match.
Now, good morning, 8:32. I'm looking down. Rupert Bell has been with the executives here. I'm looking at a very still, peaceful Cheltenham, and if Rupert tells me this is off, there's something wrong. Rupert.
Well, I'm afraid you're wrong, and I'm pretty sure it is off, because I've just
walked past Simon Clace, Edward Gillespie, and also Lord Vesey, who's the chairman here at Cheltenham. They wouldn't say anything. Andy Clifton is the communications guy. Basically, they looked very tight-lipped. For all intents and purposes, we're convinced the meeting is abandoned. The statement is about to be produced now to that effect. There will not be racing here at Cheltenham.
Rupert, this, I'm sorry, is an absolute scandal and a disgrace.
No, until I read the statement, I don't know whether I agree or disagree with you, but my gut feeling is I completely disagree with you, because if there is a health and safety issue, then you've got to put that first. It's not being namby-pamby and worried. Fine from a horse racing point of view, but you've got 55,000 people here, of which 20 probably are in the tented village, and if you've got 60-mile-an-hour winds, the debris could be flying all over the place. What could happen?
So basically, Rupert, in football, we talk about the prawn sandwich, the corporate brigade, right? It's no good for football. Is the track safe? Are the horses in danger? Are the jockeys in danger? Are the crowd in the main grandstand in danger? No, they're not. We are talking corporate in the tented village. Yes, we are.
In a football stadium, that is a permanent structure. This is a tented, not a permanent structure that is built to withstand 40-mile-an-hour winds safely. But anything above that, then you have the question mark. You saw what happened to the Keith Prowse village on Sunday. It was blown all over the place. What happens if you've got 20,000 racegoers here? Then you could have a problem.
Rupert, this is the World Cup of racing.
Absolutely.
So you close the tented village. Are you telling me there's no room for all those people in the grandstands to watch the race? This is all about corporate.
Isn't room.
This is all about risk. Close the tented village and let's have racing.
It's not about this grandstand in its own right is sold out. The main grandstand, you can't get a ticket for this main grandstand area.
Rupert, right, okay. So, the people in the tented village, are you telling me when they have their lunch and when they have a great crack with a Guinness, are you telling me they're not allowed to come on the lawn here and watch the racing? Is that what you're telling me?
There wouldn't be any room. There wouldn't be any room for them.
That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
No, I'm sorry, Alan. You may have this one wrong, but I can't speak on. I'm not speaking.
Right. Let me say this to you then. So you're telling me the people who have got corporate packages are not allowed, when they finish their lunch or a couple of glasses of wine, to come into the main area and watch the race. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but you have an ebb and flow. You have people from the corporate area, from the main grandstand. They'll go down to the tented village. You have a natural flow.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish, Rupert.
Alan, in this instance, but until I read the statement, I cannot.
There's a lot of coaches here pulling up, Rupert.
I am astounded.
Lots of people here.
I tell you what, Rupert. Right, John Ketley, national weatherman, said conditions will get better as the day goes on.
Slowly.
You tell me what it's like down there. Describe it, please.
I will absolutely. You heard me. I am in the mansion sheltered by the grandstand, but basically, if I go down to the furlong marker, I am walking into a very strong gale, which I was having to lean into to walk up the Cheltenham Hill.
Have we got a tornado warning? Rupert, let me tell you, there's a flock of seagulls over by the cross country. They're not getting blown about. They're having a little peck in the grass. There's nothing wrong out there.
You are completely sheltered from your position in the coral box. I hate to say it, you are completely oblivious to what is going on in the tented village.
You might be having tea and scones with the executives tonight from Cheltenham. You're talking nonsense, Rupert. I'm sorry. Rupert, give us an update when you get the statement, please. Dave Stephen from Coral. I cannot believe what I'm hearing, Dave.
It's somebody from the press has just texted me saying this is unreal. I mean, we've not seen anything like it before, and there's
coach loads of people up here just pulling in, and they're not going to be happy.
I mean, this is the point. Obviously, there are going to be thousands of people now making their way towards Cheltenham that aren't going to know what's happening. And
Dave, just on the point, please disagree with me if you feel. Rupert's saying I'm talking nonsense. Now he's saying the 20,000 people who have come from corporate who are in the tented village. Okay, he's saying there is no room for them. If that's closed off, there's no room to come and watch the racing. If that is the case, then surely they shouldn't be allowed there in the first place.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's important to stress that we need someone from the racecourse to come on and tell us why exactly it's been abandoned, because at the moment we don't really know. All I can say is, looking out on the course now, there are horses out there working, the jockeys, the horses, they don't seem put off by it. So, yeah, we need to hear from the racecourse. But from our point of view, in terms of bookmakers, in terms of racing, as you set out, this is the World Cup of racing. To lose day 2 of it, What's going to happen? Are the races going to be rearranged? We don't know. It's at the moment, it's all just a little bit unreal.
Weather is unpredictable. We had John Ketley, right, who's coming here today, right, well respected. He's an expert on it. He said the weather throughout the day will get better.
Absolutely. And
this is ridiculous. This is nonsense.
I think for me is the question of all these thousands of people that are going to be heading towards Cheltenham now and are not going to know what's happening.
And what's this going to cost Cheltenham? You know, the funds, the ticket, as you said, the corporate. I mean, there's going to be a serious cost here, isn't there?
The people have taken days off work who are travelling 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, again, I think, you know, the racecourse will presumably explain why exactly it's been abandoned, and then we take them there. But clearly, this is a massive, massive disappointment to
listen,
everyone
we
involved.
don't know till the statement comes, okay? Perhaps they're worried about the main grandstand. I don't know. Alan, if that is the case, they shouldn't have racing here.
Alan, I ain't got an issue regarding the safety of people, right? You know, if it's a case of, it could be a serious problem too, the health and safety of the public coming in, not an issue at all. You move on and you cancel it. But, looking out, it doesn't seem that bad. It is a nightmare. I mean, the litter's not even blowing away or anything.
People might say I'm exaggerating because I love my racing. Have a look out there. You describe it to me.
No, I think this is the point. I say we're seeing the horses out there, the horses, the jockeys. They seem okay with it, but I think we're going to Cheltenham. We're actually going to explain what's been happening.
Right, brilliant. Well, we need an update because the coach loads of punters are coming in. The car park is full. They're stopping them at the gate. I can see here from the box, the public are out there. They're stopping them at the gates, and nobody really knows what's going on. Have we heard from Rupert yet?
Let's get to Rupert Bell. Rupert, look, he's a man, finger on the pulse. We
need to know what's going on.
I think it's an absolute disgrace, but then again, maybe Rupert knows something I don't know. Rupert.
Well, what they're saying is the weather forecast over the next 3 or 4 hours is, and they've looked at it, and they feel that they have to and have no other option but to abandon racing for today. What they're then going to do is to reschedule races for tomorrow and Friday, and with a first race time of 12:30, more to follow. So that is the current status from Cheltenham due to the high winds that are forecast. Forget what's happening now, Alan. It's what is forecast.
Do you want me to get John Ketley back on the phone and say, John, you've got it all wrong, mate?
Weather forecast. Bill Giles, remember?
What about Bill Giles?
Well, wasn't that the
Michael
Hurricane?
Fish.
Michael Fish. Sorry,
yeah, come
Bill.
on.
Oh,
get a
don't
grip,
sue me,
Rupert.
Bill.
All
Sorry,
this wind.
Michael Fish.
Even I remember it was Michael Fish. This is what is going on here?
Sorry.
Rupert,
well, it's a
listen,
bit of
Rupert, tell me the truth. Rupert, tell me the truth now. Have a look out there, and you tell me, Rupert, tell me please, and be honest, would you, if you didn't know anything about this that's in doubt, would you look out there? This is National Hunt, this is not Royal Ascot, this is National Hunt. You look out there now, would you say this is in jeopardy, this race meeting?
I would say, hand on heart, and I've spoken to jockeys, it would be safe to ride under normal circumstances at a normal meeting. This is not a normal meeting with a tented village area with winds that are forecast
so we're talking
of
about
up to 60 miles an hour.
So once again, we're not talking about the safety of the animals, the jockeys, the people in the main grandstand. We're talking about people who are going to be sitting out there having a great lunch and watching some of the racing on the television. Is that what you're saying?
It's not just about the corporate in the village, but there are other people who would have their tickets who could be liable for damage. There are people in the best mate enclosure over there. If things are flying around all over the place,
so the main
they
focus
are
is
just as likely to get hurt.
So you believe the safety of the people? This needs to be cancelled for the safety of the people. Rupert, yeah, correct?
I think that is what I'm sure.
I've got an issue regarding that.
What I am saying as well.
All right, Rupert Bell there. I can't wait for these 5 tornadoes to hit Cheltenham. I really can. It's coming up to 20 to 9. What a joke.
Top of the form on the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Live from Cheltenham on talkSPORT with coral.co.uk. Online and telephone betting.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, official vehicle supplier to the UEFA Champions League.
Well, it sounds like,
If your boiler or heating breaks down, British Gas will do a one-off fixed price repair for less than £200 without a contract.
And then sometimes it goes low, like...
That includes call-out, parts and labour.
Oh yeah, and then occasionally it'll go...
So whatever the problem, you won't have a breakdown getting it fixed. Call 08450 777 111. British Gas, your energy experts. First fault and related faults only. Terms apply.
Mike, there's a text here from your new Swedish bird. She says she's found your tickets for the cup final, found you a cheap flight to the stag trip to Prague, and her sexy girlfriend has flown in and looking forward to some fun time with the two of you. So, can you get home from the pub tonight whenever it suits you?
Wow. Alan Carr's Easy Way clinics can't help you find the perfect girlfriend, but we could help you stop smoking. For details of our money-back guarantee, call 0800 389 2115. That's 0800 389 2115. £50 discount when you mention Lucky Mike.
Right, that's it, I'm off home. I'm glad I brought my coat, the weather's horrible.
I'm off too, but I'm a bit worried about my car. It really does need checking over.
Why not take it to Masterfit? They're offering a winter safety check and top-up for just £35.
Just £35?
Yeah, and you also get a free winter car care kit worth £11, including de-icer, antifreeze, ice scraper and demisting pad.
Brilliant, everything I need to help keep my car going through the winter.
Visit www.londonvauxhall.co.uk to find out more. Car care kit subject to availability at participating retailers only.
New immigration controls are being introduced to the UK. Migrant workers from outside the European Economic Area will need points to qualify to work here. If you plan to bring in these workers, you will need to know what to do to make sure they clear all hurdles and can get through.
From this autumn, new immigration controls based on the Australian point system will mean that employers will need to be licensed to sponsor migrants to work here. To find out more about the new immigration controls, visit bia.homeoffice.gov.uk.
Wednesday Night Football on talkSPORT.
Absolutely fantastic.
Tonight from 7.
Can't believe it, to be honest.
From the penalty spot to the back of the net.
I don't agree with the tactics of the first half.
Passion, pugnacity and punditry.
He shouldn't have been put into that game as a goalkeeper.
Pitch-side opinion.
They were floundering as players.
And all the gossip from the goalmouth.
Isn't football about winning and scoring goals?
Tonight from 7 on talkSPORT with Feel Football.
The game's moved on.
Join the debate at feelfootball.com. talkSPORT Traffic and Travel with QuickFit.
Get £5 off your MOT and service when you pay online at quickfit.com.
Now, good morning, 8:45. Listen, no wind-up. Cheltenham races today has been cancelled. I'll read the statement out from the executives here at Cheltenham. We're stunned here, but there's got to be a reason for it. I don't understand it. I'll read that out in a text. If you're coming to Cheltenham, please turn round. If you know your mates are going, give them a call. talkSPORT are bringing it live. The racing today is cancelled. 8:45. talkSPORT Travel, Janina.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, if you are setting out on your journey to the Cheltenham Festival, just a reminder that the racing has been cancelled due to safety reasons, probably connected to the severe weather conditions. Taking a look at the problems that we're experiencing across the country, they seem to be all weather related. There's still difficulty getting out of Sheffield towards the M1 at junction 33 because of an accident on the A630. Conditions over the Thirlwall Viaduct in Cheshire still treacherous, so the M6 is closed north and south between 20 and 21, absolutely stationary on either side of the closure. The A50 in Staffordshire closed eastbound in the Doveridge area after 2 lorries overturned in the early hours of this morning. A vehicle fire on Hertfordshire's M1 is causing southbound queues towards junction 6, and the QE2 bridge is still closed due to strong wind, so we've got long clockwise and anti-clockwise delays on the M25. I'm Joanna Adams with talkSPORT Traffic and Travel.
Hey Dad, look what I found under the seat.
Wow.
Find a penny, pick it up. All day long you'll have good luck.
Yes, but here's an even better rhyme to learn. Find a penny, good for you, but get your car from Network Q. Buying a used car? Don't leave it to luck. At Vauxhall Network Q, our comprehensive warranty covers your car for mechanical and electrical parts plus labour. Visit your local Vauxhall Network Q retailer or go to networkq.co.uk. Network Q. Used cars you can rely on.
Ooh, a £10 note.
I'll take that. You keep the penny.
On 1089 and 1053 AM, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 14 before 9. If you come to Cheltenham, please turn round. Cheltenham races today has been cancelled due to strong winds we're expecting over the next few hours. I'm gutted. Let me go to Cardiff. Let's take some calls. Andrew wants a rant. Andrew, what's your problem?
Hiya, Al. Nice to speak to you, mate.
Go on, pal.
I'd like to say, Al, rather than sit there blowing a fuse, mate, why don't you put your Burberry on, go down to the tented village,
yeah,
and see what the weather's like yourself?
What's the tented village got to do, Andrew? I want to see day 2 of the World Cup of Racing down there by the rail and watch great racing. We're talking about corporate here. That's what we're talking about. It's safe for the horses, safe for the jockeys, it's safe to race. The corporate, the tents, that's the problem, Andrew.
Yeah, fair enough, Albert. Can you imagine tents and debris blowing around and injuring people? You know, there's like 30,000 people down there.
Nah, 20,000. 20,000 is enough, Andrew. Look, I can only go, I take the word from the experts, right? John Ketley came on and said, throughout the day, the weather will get better throughout the day. So I'm sorry, once again, the corporate has taken over the sport. That's the problem I've got, Andrew. Let me go to Ian. Ian, good morning. Welcome to talkSPORT.
Alan, good morning. Alan, you're there. You can also see a lot more than I can see, and I would agree that I don't think that you'd be doing anything malicious to be selfish. I think you'd have safety as a paramount. I think if it holds 55,000, you can house 30,000 in the main stand and structures which are there all the time. Then unfortunately 20,000 should be refunded and the racing should take place.
Ian, I think, listen, I don't know, but I would imagine when you put on corporate events, and we're talking a lot of money, probably £500 a person in some of the big ones, they have insurance, by the way.
Absolutely.
So if there's no problem. The people there who have booked maybe 60 guests, they'll be insured, they'll get the money back. But my point now, Ian, is simply, look, I don't know, over the next 3 hours, perhaps, I don't know how bad the weather's going to get, but John Ketley, who's an expert, he said, no, it'll get better as the day goes through. Looking out there now, it could be a morning in May or June. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's going to hit us. I just find this very, very strange, Ian. I promise you, very strange.
And they certainly have time to tie down the marquees and hold them down.
Why don't they just close it off?
Absolutely.
And say, look, you're welcome to come. You can talk to who you bought your tickets off. They'll give you a refund. They should be insured. You'll get a refund. Come and watch the racing. I promise you, there's loads of room here. You're not telling me 20,000 people have their lunch, have a few drinks, and don't step on the racecourse and watch it in the tents. That's garbage. That's
Alan,
nonsense.
you'll probably find 80% of them 20,000 are only there for a prawn sandwich and don't care about the racing, so they wouldn't come anyway.
So what you're saying is they could refund them the money, just bring them in, then they can come and watch the races if they are real race goers and they want to see what's going on. I think that's a great point.
Ian, thank you. So listen, we've got to hear from Edward Gillespie, of course. Edward's a good friend to the station. He will talk to Rupert and he'll explain why they've cancelled. But I can only say again, as I look out here, never mind where I'm sitting, standing, as I look out here, I cannot believe this decision that's been made. I find it scandalous. Ronnie, am I wrong?
Well, I must admit, I've been out there. It's freezing, it is windy, but they are concerned on the health and safety side of it regarding, the village, the corporate village. Now, as you said, they could close that down, they could shut it off, and the punters, if they want to, come and see it where the real people stand. And if they do that, and refund the rest of them. I do find it amazing. I must say, we've had a bit of fun and games early on about the weather, but for it to be cancelled, it is disappointing.
Right.
But health and safety, listen, if there's a safety of the public, if they really are strong about it, Alan, which they are, then it's a fair decision in that side of it, mate.
Well, I can't see it. 10 minutes to 9 o'clock. Let me go to Manchester. The number 08717 223344. Graham's on the line. Graham, hi.
Hi, Alan. They were told about these weather conditions last Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Why on earth couldn't the people in the tented villages, which is always going to be a problem, why couldn't
Go on, Graham.
We hold the right to cancel your ticket because of freak conditions. You will get we have to take the tented village down.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with racing, Alan, it's a multi-billion-pound industry, still sadly by major and corporal one leg. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, mate.
Graham, listen, I've got to be careful what I say here because we've not heard from Edward Gillespie, but if you've just joined us, the racing at Cheltenham today has been cancelled. It's off due to foreseeable strong winds, we're told is coming. At the moment it's peaceful here. There's a breeze, of course, a strong breeze, but it's nothing disastrous. It's nothing crazy. John Ketley, I keep saying, that's why he was on this morning. He's an expert on the weather. I know they can't get it right all the time. He says throughout the day conditions conditions will improve. Looking out as I speak now, wow, it's an absolute joke. I wonder why, I really do, I wonder why that this has been cancelled. It's to do with the corporate, the tented village. They're worried about not structure of the grandstand, which sometimes in football we have a problem with. It's not the grandstand, it's the tented village is the problem. Let's go to Rupert Bell. Rupert, give us the latest, please.
Well, I'm hearing it's not the racecourse decision, it was the police decision, because they were the people who were worried about the tented village and the 20,000. That is what I'm hearing. So,
do you know what? Here we go again. I tell you, we live in a stupid world. I tell you, health and safety, absolute garbage nonsense.
Well, I'm hopefully going to be talking to Edward Gillespie shortly, because I'm near where he is at the moment, but that is what I'm hearing. And I think the police, 20,000 racegoers, where were they going to put them? That is the issue. So I think the police had a very difficult decision to make, and they just felt that with the weather forecast as it was, that they couldn't do anything else. That would be my gut feeling.
Rupert, we did have warnings, the last caller made a point last Wednesday, they knew of it. Why did they not make preparations for this, just in case? I mean, millions of pounds are invested in this place. What's going on?
They did. Indeed, they were concerned. They had people working through the night over the weekend. That's the reason why they had no roof on the Guinness stand, why they sort of battened down the hatches in as many places. But it just, unfortunately, appears to have taken a turn for the worst in terms of what they're forecasting.
Rupert, with the greatest respect to you, I'm banging my head against the window saying this is a disgrace, this decision. Now I understand. It's the mamby-pamby police force. It's their decision. I knew that it could not be the executives here, because looking out now, it's an absolute joke. And I said before, I think the 20,000 who are in the tented village could come and integrate here. Listen, in front of the glass-fronted boxes, there's loads of room to watch a race. On the lawns, on the rail, there's loads of room to watch a race. Would people go in the middle for the BGC counted for the big cross-country? This is a disgrace.
Alan, I'm going to interrupt you because Edward Gillespie is here. I'm sorry to spring this on you. You're live now on talkSPORT. Alan is steaming at the moment because he doesn't understand why you've had to do this. So please put him right.
Well, I'm steaming too, sadly, because we had the forecast winds today. The forecast remains that the winds will gust over 50 miles an hour through till at least 3 o'clock, and that means that many of our temporary structures could not be occupied at that wind speed. About 20,000 of our 55,000 race goers would be in temporary or close to temporary structures, and actually everybody else is at risk because of flying debris. As it happens, the wind is coming from the west, which would take anything, a loose race card, a paper bag, onto the racecourse itself, and that would jeopardise the racing. And on the advice of all the experts that advises these men, it is much safer to call today off. The great thing is we've got time tomorrow and the next day to run every single race, so there's no loss of earnings here to the owners, trainers, jockeys, stable staff and the industry itself. So that's the good news. But it's not a safe environment, and we cannot be liable to attract people to an unsafe environment.
Did you want to race, or was it the police decision?
No, of course we always want to race, but we knew when Simon and I were here at 5 o'clock this morning, and we knew from that moment onwards that the worst was that yesterday's forecasts, which we were looking at till late yesterday, had been confirmed. Yesterday the forecasts improved overnight, and they haven't improved. They've been confirmed. We spoke with the experts directly today, and therefore of course we want to race, but we also don't want to put ourselves or the staff or the race goers, and it was a real reminder when we lost the structure this week. Had that been occupied at the time, there would have been 600 or 700 people in a restaurant that just simply disintegrated. We can't afford to put people at risk on this side. Like any major sporting event, there will be temporary facilities, and let's enjoy tomorrow and the next day, and appreciate that today would have been an unsafe environment.
Could you have just moved everybody out of the tented village?
No, we looked at that and said, there's 10,000 people there, but there's also 10,000 people in the best mating closure. And you can't say when you come in the gate, if you're turning right, it's okay. If you're turning left, you can't go that way. And it's not actually that straightforward. There are many temporary facilities around the main structures. It's that sort of event. Therefore, and of course, you've got flying debris, you've got risk all round, and there comes a margin. There comes a moment when you say it's not like you've got one tent. You've got to close one tent. this becomes an unsafe environment, and if you start playing at the margins, nobody's going to thank you for it.
Hardest decision you've had to make?
Well, it wasn't in an essence. The decision was made for us by, we had to interpret the signs being given to us. The decision was made by the elements and by the experts, and we backed that up.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you.
Ripper, thank you very much to Edward Gillespie, Chief Executive of Cheltenham Races. I can tell in his voice, he's steaming, he's very, very angry. It appears the experts, the police, the health and safety have said no to racing. For the life of me, yesterday was much bluer than what it is. Perhaps over the next 3-4 hours, we're going to have major problems and it will get stronger. I don't know, I don't understand, but goodness me, I'm shocked. I'm stunned, I promise you. We'll talk about this in the next hour. Once again, is it down to corporate? Are we missing the World Cup of racing? Just think a horse, right? You own part of a horse, or a trainer's got a horse ready for today and it's cancelled. He pricks his foot tomorrow morning out, having a little breeze, or you've planned this, you've got a party of 30 people, you've taken a day off work, and you come down because of the danger to the tented village. I'm looking to my right, Edward Gillespie mentioned there the best mate enclosure. There's a big tent. Take it down, it's not a problem. Take it down, we get the race on. It's nonsense. Racing's a loser here, I'm sorry. 2 minutes to 9.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Ford, official vehicle supplier to Scottish Rugby.
Did you know that it only took Andy Cole 65 games to hit 50 goals in the Premier League, faster than any other player, and that Wayne Rooney was the youngest player to make 100 Premier League appearances at just 19 years and 330 days old? Get all the facts and figures, knowledge and numbers on your team with Lucozade Sports Premier League Pitchside Professor. Make an appointment with the Stat Doctor every Saturday afternoon on Matchday Live before the games kick off on talkSPORT with Lucozade Sports, giving Premier League players the edge.
Got a question on sport? Ask Dave the Brain. He's always first on the pub quiz team sheet. But for electrical conundrums, consult the CPC catalogue. Over 100,000 trade price products and accessories to get the job sorted. Like 2-gang 13-amp switch sockets from 63p. Or a 305-metre box of Cat 5e cable, just $29.98. Same-day dispatch and free delivery on orders over £40, all prices ex VAT.
Text CPC to 87202 for your free trades catalogue. Or visit cpc.co.uk.
Optical illusions can confuse us and make us laugh, like the Hall of Mirrors. But what about the optical illusion that contributes to the death or serious injury of 2 motorcyclists every day? Because our eyes can deceive us. In tests, 96% of us think smaller objects take longer to reach us than bigger ones. It's just the way our brain works. And why drivers misjudge the distance of oncoming motorcycles at junctions. Give motorcyclists a second thought.
Right, I'll have double egg, bacon, tomato and a fried slice, please, love.
Yeah, same for me, please. No, change that. Instead of bacon and tomato, I'll have sausage and beans.
For a really perfect combination, try the award-winning Vauxhall Combo range. There's fuel-efficient diesel engines, high spec and a 3-year or 60,000-mile warranty. Now available from only $7,995. Conditions apply. Price for business users only. Excludes VAT at 17.5%, on the road charges, vehicle excise duty, fuel and insurance. Call Vauxhall on 0845 600 1500.
I want a builder's tea.
Plumber's tea, actually.
Combo from Vauxhall Commercial Vehicles. The wheels of business.
Bob, Gordon, emergency. My email's down. I know it's Sunday evening. I don't need my IT Johnny to tell me that. What do you think I'm doing? I'm trying to send my chef a last-minute change for my menu.
If your IT breaks down, you want it fixed there and then. With IT Manager from BT, you get 24/7 support from UK-based experts. So, whatever size your business, you'll be back doing what you do best in no time.
I don't care if you're having roast chicken with all the trimmings and the stuffing. If you don't sort it out, I'll personally stuff you. Bob!
To find out more about 24/7 expert IT support from BT, visit bt.com/business. BT, bringing it all together. See website for details.
Brazil are back at Emirates Stadium. This time they face Sweden. See the likes of Ronaldinho and Kaká compete against Ibrahimovic and Lundberg. Kick off at 7:45 p.m. on Wednesday the 26th of March at Emirates Stadium. Tickets from only £30. Book now on 0870 906 3366 or visit arsenal.com.
Now, good morning. Sensational news. Unbelievable. I'm gobsmacked, I swear to you. I may be proved wrong over the next 3-4 hours. Maybe a hurricane is about to hit Cheltenham. I don't know. Cheltenham races, if you're on your way, I'm so sorry. Turn around. The racing is off. Police have made the decision, along with health and safety, saying, no, there could be debris flying about. Well, I tell you what, I've had some summers in Glasgow worse than this. It's coming up. News and sports headlines back in a tick.
On 1089 and 1053 AM.
On every single undertaking.
Around the world.
Violence has no place at the table of democracy.
Around the clock.
The war, the drugs, the politics.
From the Sky News Centre. Commercial radio station of the year. talkSPORT News.
Day 2 of Cheltenham abandoned.
But the races will be saved.
talkSPORT on the Hour News.
Good morning, it's 9 o'clock, I'm Lisa Rose Sullivan. If you're heading for the Cheltenham Festival, the bad news is today's meeting has been abandoned. As you've been hearing here on talkSPORT Sports Breakfast, fears over the safety of spectators has led to a cancellation of the day's racing. Our reporter Rupert Bell was first to raise doubts about the meeting. He's been finding out from Cheltenham Chief Edward Gillespie why the decision was made to call things off.
We had the forecast winds today. The forecast remains that the winds will gust over 50 miles an hour through till at least 3 o'clock, and that means that many of our temporary structures could not be occupied at that wind speed. About 20,000 of our 55,000 race goers would be in temporary or close to temporary structures, and actually everybody else is at risk because of flying debris.
Well, the Sports Breakfast will be bringing you all the reaction to this decision in the next hour. Stay tuned to Talk Sport. It's budget day. Alistair Darling steps up to the dispatch box for the first time. Unsurprisingly, duty on alcohol and cigarettes is expected to go up. There may also be attempts to kickstart the money markets through new mortgage plans, but it's thought the Chancellor may abandon plans to put a tuppence increase on fuel tax. A post-mortem will later try to establish how the head of one of Britain's biggest police forces died. The body of Michael Todd, who was the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, has been found at the bottom of a cliff in Snowdonia. London Underground workers have voted to strike in a bitter row over safety and ticket office closures. Members of the Transport Salaried Staff Association could now stage a walkout. And Barack Obama has won the latest contest in the Democrats' race for the White House. He took 60% of the vote compared with Hillary Clinton's 38% in Mississippi. In the city this hour, the FTSE is currently trading up 65 points at 57.56. And if you're off to the Eurozone, you're going to get around €1.25 for a pound.
talkSPORT weather with Andrews Heat for Hire.
Nationwide providers of specialist heating and drying equipment. Call 0800 211 611.
Severe gales in places, mainly over central parts of Britain, with heavy and prolonged showers for most places at some stage today. Highs around 10 Celsius.
Hello, China, I'm no Ronnie Irani, I'm Alan Bedell Dante Fanny. I've got a head like a lavy brush and a mouth like a gutter. That tushy heated waste of airspace has just gone out to buy me a hairy fish supper and a bottle of Brasso. So you'll be back after the sports news, if you're lucky. See you late night.
Thank you, Jeremy. And now, if you've ever torn your hair out crawling along in summer traffic, this could be the greatest thing you've ever seen. Roll VT.
When you have a sight problem, your favourite TV programmes aren't always clear, but with audio description, a narrator helps you get the full story.
This could be the greatest thing you've ever seen. Roll VT.
A caravan drops 50 feet from a crane and smashes into pieces below.
Revenge is sweet.
If you or someone you know has a sight problem, turn on audio description now free. Call RNIB on 08456 010181 or visit audiodescription.org.uk.
Talk Sport. Sports Update.
Good morning, I'm Ian Abrahams. As you've been hearing from Lisa, Day 2 of the Cheltenham National Hunt Festival abandoned because of high winds. The races will be saved and run tomorrow, the first at 12:30, and on Friday as well. Probably 10 tomorrow and 9 on Friday, something like that. The chairman, the managing director of Cheltenham is Edward Gillespie.
Got time tomorrow and the next day to run every single race, so there's no loss of earnings here to the owners, trainers, jockeys, stable staff and the industry itself. So that's the good news.
Now the old course will be used tomorrow, the new course on Friday. Some of the distances might just change a little bit because of that, and listen out for the Sports Breakfast in the next hour. We'll try and explain what excuse me, what happens to any of your anti-post bets. Don't forget our Cheltenham update is thanks to Coral, talkSPORT's official partner for 2008 Festival. On to football, the UEFA Cup tonight. Everton must overturn a 2-goal deficit at home to Fiorentina to make the quarter-finals. Manager Davy Moyes.
We scored a lot of goals at Goodison, and
you know, the crowd will play a part. We're going to need a strong referee. If we get that, then hopefully we can try and overturn it.
Spurs are 1 down away to PSV Eindhoven. Assistant manager Gus Poyet told Sky Sports News the tie is still alive.
It's like a final, and we take it this game as a final, and all the lads they know, so it's going to be exciting, but a great opportunity for the club.
Chelsea will move to within 5 points of Arsenal if they beat Derby at the Bridge tonight in the Premier League. Manager Avram Grant says after the defeat at Barnsley it's time to bounce back.
They are very disappointing. I took the responsibility. They say to me that they took the responsibility also. We just need to do the same after we did after Carling.
It's also Villa Borough and Pompey Birmingham. Games in the Championship at Cardiff and West Brom, the FA Cup semi-finalists, and in League 1 and 2. In Scotland, Celtic played Dundee United and Hibs Motherwell. And in cricket, 2 changes for the side to start the second test against New Zealand in Wellington tonight. Harmison and Hoggard have been dropped. Broad and Anderson come in. Finally, just a reminder of our top story from Cheltenham. Day 2 has been abandoned because of high winds.
On 1089 and 10:53 AM, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. If you're coming to Cheltenham, I'm so sorry, turn back. If you've taken a day off, I'm so sorry. Mamby-pamby, please. Mamby-pamby, please. Health and safety. A bit of a breeze about. They say it's unsafe to race. Unbelievable. The jockeys, the horses, the fences, no problem there. It's the tented village. Don't get me wrong, 20,000 people come here on a daily basis for the World Cup of Racing, and all of a sudden, amazing, it's been decided it's unsafe, debris could be flying about. John Ketley, our expert weatherman, told us the weather should improve throughout the day. Not for the police, I'm sorry. If you're coming to Cheltenham, turn round, you heard it here on talkSPORT.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning. The only other sport I think a stiff breeze like this, Rupert, would call off is Ronnie's cricket. Maybe they would think.
Al, nice and easy, pal. Come on.
Maybe they'd think.
Hey, even we wouldn't go in for a break with this weather.
You know, you used to stumps flying, Ronnie, when you were in bat, but you know, hold on a minute. Rupert, we're actually down by the running rail, by the winning line, okay? Rupert, we're down here. On a serious note, I know I've had a rant, but as far as I'm concerned, it must get seriously worse than what we're witnessing now. I promise you, this is National Hunt weather. This is not a problem for me. Is it going to get worse?
It's National Hunt weather, yes, but what they're worried about is they are fearing that it's going to get worse. And as Edward Gillespie said, what happened on Sunday with that Keith Prowse hospitality tent, if we've got worse weather from 10:30, those hospitality areas and that tented village, not just the corporate bit that you're so obsessed with, would be filled with ordinary racegoers. The people in the tented village before racing probably have got the ordinary grandstand tickets here. They're doing their pre-race shopping, so it's the ordinary people could be equally as affected as opposed to the fat cats in the corporate area. So I'm quite convinced that Edward Gillespie took the decision. It pained him to do it, but I'm convinced he's made the right one.
Rupert, he said he was steaming. Listen, I'm looking in the middle. I'm not making light of this. The seagulls are there, pecking away in the paddocks there. They've got Ambrose Soler on. This is ridiculous.
He's steaming with frustration because he knows that the weather forecast has not panned out as they originally thought. They thought it was going to ease today, but it hasn't. It's got worse. The wind yesterday morning when I was out in the course was nothing compared to what I've walked up the mile straight. We're in the loo of the grandstand. That's why we feel relatively sheltered and why you can walk around in just a shirt. But if I got you walking up the hill, if you could put one foot in front of the other up the hill, you'd be panting pretty quickly with the struggle of getting up it.
He would do these days as well, yeah, I must admit. These days,
I tell you what, Rupert, I feel a race coming on here, right? It's all right, I said before, Rupert will have his scones, tea and scones at Sudley Castle, whose abode, with the Cheltenham executives and the Chief of Police. What a tart.
Al, are you going to take him on 20 metres, Al? Can you take him over 20 metres, you reckon?
Easy.
That'd be good bet, wouldn't it? That'd be the best bet. That'd be the best race of the day. Brazil versus Rupert over 20 metres. Go on, Al.
If people were here now, in fact, people who come to the festival, get here really early, they'd be astonished. Anyway, back with Rupert in a minute. I am gobsmacked. Edward Gillespie, the managing director of Cheltenham, he's smoking. He is absolutely furious. It's the mamby-pamby, health and safety, and the police, again, have ruined a fantastic second day. Unbelievable. Travel next.
The Transit Hour on talkSPORT with the new Transit Sport van. Feel the difference.
We're offering tyres by the pair at National Tyres and Auto Care. The savings are there for all to see when you buy one tyre, get one free. Buy one Barham or Avon tyre and get one free on selected sizes. Call for a quote on 0800 687 687. National Tyres and Auto Care. Buy one, get one free.
So what's this about, a new job?
Well, it's perfect. I was looking for jobs online, and there it was.
Online? What, can you do that internet stuff then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to these days, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess.
Ever think today's online world is leaving you behind? Don't worry, catching up isn't rocket science. Just visit a UK online centre. We've got people who'll show you how to use computers and the internet. Soon you could be paying your bills, finding a bargain holiday, and even searching for jobs. All online.
All right, mate. I took your advice.
Hey, what advice?
I got myself online and I've got a new job too. Cheers.
What could you do online? For your nearest UK online centre, call 0800 77 1234.
Maximum balance £5,000 over 12 months, subject to status, terms and conditions apply.
Did you know an owl is the only bird that can see the colour blue?
But did you know that you can buy any car at Carcraft interest-free?
Interest-free credit on every single car at Carcraft. That is amazing.
Nationwide at a showroom near you. Visit www.carcraft.co.uk for details. Easy to find and closer than you think. Open until late tonight.
Steve from Birmingham, you're on the couch with Dr. Proper.
Hi, Doctor. My flatmate Gary had leftover Chinese takeaway again for breakfast. Should I say something?
Of course, or he'll think he's a student and start prancing around reciting poetry before you can say tie-dye waistcoat.
Oh, that's not good.
What he needs is a proper breakfast fit for a grown-up.
What, like Kippers?
No, like the new Cumberland sausage butty from Burger King.
And that'll stop him acting like Lord Byron.
It's not just any old sausage sandwich, Steve. It's flame-grilled premium Cumberland sausage on a corn-dusted bun, a real man's breakfast.
Sounds great.
Especially with HP sauce or Heinz ketchup. Tell him to get one before he nicks a road sign for the living room.
I'll do that, Dr. Proper. But one more thing. Another mate of mine still sucks his thumb. Will the Cumberland sausage butty help him grow up too?
No.
Oh, right. I better try something. I'll get him to try something else. Thanks, Dr. Proper.
A brand new breakfast menu, now at Burger King. Have it 100% your way.
Participating restaurant subject to availability. Dr. Proper is not a real psychiatrist.
Talk Sport Traffic and Travel with QuickFit.
Driving today for a free tyre check.
Good morning, 9:15. Unbelievable. If you've just tuned in, Cheltenham races today is off due to the prospects of high wind and some of the tented villages unsafe. If you're coming to Cheltenham, I'm sorry, we're going to talk about it in a minute. It is off. talkSPORT travel time. Girina.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, if you are just setting out on your journey to the Cheltenham Festival, the races have been cancelled due to safety reasons connected to the bad weather. Let's start on Kent's M20, looking at our road problems. Coastbound has been closed again between 8 and 9 for Operation Stat. We've got long queues on the M25 clockwise and anti-clockwise because of the closure of the QE2 bridge. Cheshire's M6 is shut both north and south between 20 and 21. Conditions are too bad to drive over the Thalwell Viaduct. There's also an overturned vehicle being recovered. Long queues on Staffordshire's A50 both east and west. The eastbound stretch through Dudbridge remains closed as barrier repair work continues, and there's still delays getting out of Sheffield towards the M1 at junction 33 following an earlier accident on the Sheffield Parkway. I'm Girina Adams with talkSPORT Traffic and Travel.
talkSPORT. Surely we're not the only radio station with a sales department who used to put nail varnish on their phone cards to fool the machine.
I'd kill him if I get my hands on him.
talkSPORT.
Now, good morning. Singapore Airlines are redefining air travel and is the only airline to fly the impressive, this is beautiful by the way, the A380, the world's largest passenger aircraft. Even the moose can get a seat. On Tuesday, talkSPORT report back to you from this landmark event when it makes its inaugural flight into Heathrow Airport for the first ever A380 commercial service to Europe. Starting on Sunday, talkSPORT and Singapore Airlines, I've not flown better, by the way, we'll be giving you the chance to experience this new era in air travel. You could win 2 nights accommodation, a pair of tickets from London to Singapore. If you've not been, fantastic, on board the new A380. You've got to try this. If you want to be part of this landmark event, the A380 is fantastic. Have a look, Singapore.com SingaporeAir.com, right? It's all one word, SingaporeAir.com, to buy your tickets for this new beautiful A380. It flies daily from London on Tuesday from March the 18th. Have a go at that with Singapore Airlines. Brilliant. Right, I tell you what, I am still raging, I'm fuming, and it's very, very interesting. We're going to go to Rupert. We're going to go to Rupert in a moment.
Top of the form on the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Live from Cheltenham on talkSPORT with coral.co.uk. Online and telephone betting.
Now, Rupert Bell still on the phone trying to find out exactly whose decision. There's a bit of confusion here at Cheltenham Races. Who actually called the racing off today? We'll get Rupert in just a tick. But what does that mean with the Coral Cup today? Unbelievable. And of course, we're doing our show from the Coral box. And that means it's bad news. Dave Stevens from Coral. Dave, very good morning to you. We can't do anything about it. We're devastated. I'm really upset and angry for the people who have taken days off work coming down here. It looks fine, but what does this mean to Coral, one of the leading bookmakers in the country? Revenue-wise, I know we'll have the races tomorrow, but today, crikey, this is a disaster, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the momentum has built for months leading towards the Cheltenham Festival. It is the highlight of the jump season.
And this is your race.
Absolutely. Coral Cup Day today, the Queen Mother Champion Chase, the Ballymore, the Sun Alliance. Now, the punters obviously are going to be looking forward to this. It's not happening now. There are going to be these races put over to Thursday and Friday. Big 10 races tomorrow. I think 9 races on Friday. So the races still will be there. But it is massive today. Losing a whole day of the Cheltenham Festival. We can't underestimate just what a blow that is to punters.
Yeah, Dave, okay, we'll look out. I'm looking now. Edward Gillespie, we're going to hear more from what Edward had to say, the MD of Cheltenham. I look to my right, the best mate, the enclosure there. Well, yeah, I can see a little bit of flapping in the tent, but it's not exactly lifting off, is it?
I've got to say, again, it's very difficult from up here. It doesn't look that bad, and there's a bit of a mystery concerning who's actually made the decision to abandon racing today. It looks like it might be all agencies, whatever that means, but it's very, very disappointing, and I think it's important just to stress to the punters today, do not come here today.
No, it's off. Don't come to Cheltenham today. Dave, listen, I'm sorry to drop this on you, but what about people are now coming down here, like me, probably anti-post on apt approach? How does their bet stand? People who have backed horses today in the anti-post market, what does that mean to them?
That is a very, very good question. Now, I mean, I will check for later on, obviously, but I'm guessing if the races are going to be staged here tomorrow and Friday, as they say, then the anti-post bets will all stand. I'm guessing that's what we'll do. So let's hope that is the case. But as I say, I will try and confirm that for the talkSPORT listeners.
What about all your clients, your guests in the Coral box? What about them taking days off work? Can you invite them tomorrow? Listen, you can't double the size of your box because you've got top guests, top clients coming tomorrow as well. What are you going to do?
It's a flagship sponsorship for us, Coral Cup Day. I know there's a bigger issue here, but obviously personally for Coral, huge blow. If the race is staged on Friday, we're not going to be able to entertain those guests because some other sponsor's going to want them. So it's hugely disappointing for so many people.
Yeah, Ronnie's just put his hand up. He says, "Don't worry about me tomorrow. I'll make way for one of your clients tomorrow." Well done, Ronnie.
What we're going to do for lunch today, that's all I'm concerned about. Is there any food and drink here?
Well, we'll find a bit of lunch and a bit of drink somewhere, yeah.
I must admit, on a serious issue, obviously, they wouldn't have made this decision lightly. If the health and safety side of things, debris flying and all that sort of thing, Al, they were concerned on this part, I'm sure. Now, we find it hard to believe possibly sat up here, Al, but, sometimes decisions like this have to be taken, and they're hard decisions to make.
Ronnie, Dave, safety comes first, right? But what happens, as John Ketley says, throughout the morning, throughout the day, the weather improves. What happens if that sun bursts through the skies and we've got a gorgeous day? Someone's going to have his egg on his face. Now, I'm told, it's not official yet, but we're going to hear from the Gloucester Police what their decision was. Because we did hear earlier, it was health and safety, the police were involved. Well, I believe, I've not got it from the horse's mouth, pardon the pun, but I'm told the police had nothing to do with this.
But also the village isn't obviously up to the standard of required of a World Cup event. I mean, this is a major event. It's obviously not up to the standard required. I mean, it's the Prawn Sandwich Brigade are taking over the sport out.
Ronnie, Coral Cup, right? One of the biggest betting heats of the whole festival. I'm told now it's not tomorrow, it's Friday, Dave.
I'm told it's going to be run on Friday, and of course 10 races tomorrow, 9 races Friday. That's going to be a hell of a lot going on that punters won't be able to keep up to. Again, this is another blow of losing one whole day from what is the biggest betting week of the year, Al.
How will you get round it? How will you get round it? Not just yourself, Dave. All these boxes here, how are they going to get round it tomorrow and Friday? How can will Cheltenham say, look, look, we're relaxed. Instead of getting 25 people here, we'll let you have 50. Surely that's a health and safety problem.
It creates a whole set of new problems for itself, though, actually, which, again, the logistics of it we'll have to deal with. It's on so many levels. It is absolute chaos here.
Chaos, there you go. Dave Stevens from Coral. Dave, look, before we go, we must talk about tonight's football. It's not all doom and gloom. I know some of you don't like your racing out there, some of you love it, some have taken a day off, you're on your way here, you can't do Thursday, you can't do Friday. What about the footy tonight and tomorrow, UEFA Cup?
Yeah, well, I suppose we should, just mention that. It seems strange, obviously, the disappointment of the race, but Everton, I mean, they host Fiorentina, are even money favourites. The Italian sides are 11-5. Tottenham now 2-1 shot.
Sorry, that's just on 90 minutes, isn't
that's
it,
just
to win the game?
Yeah, that's just
what
the
about
90-minute match
through? Because a lot of people I spoke to yesterday said the Italians are through.
Yeah, I mean, Everton are 4-1 shots, the Italian long odds on. I know Mr. Parry, your colleague, he had a little bet yesterday on Liverpool going out and Everton qualifying. I'm afraid.
Do you know what? He's denied that. And do you know what? Thank you. He denied that a few days ago on talkSPORT. I didn't say that, he said. He told me Liverpool will go out, Everton will go through. Thank you, Dave.
I'm holding £40 of Mr. Parry's that tells me he did have that bet.
There you go. What about the Gers? Rangers, great result. We probably understate this. Okay, I'm not a great fan of Rangers, but a wonderful result at Ibrox, 2-0.
Yeah, and obviously tomorrow night they go to Germany.
Clearly not enough, Dave.
15-8 on Germany.
Go on the Gers.
9-2 Rangers in that one. And of course there is a bit of Premiership football around tonight as well to keep an eye on, but should just stress there is racing at Huntingdon and Southall today. I think they still go ahead.
What else have we got? What about Bolton? Ronnie's his deserted team. What about the Bolton? What about the Wanderers?
Come on, the Trotters.
When are Bolton playing, chaps?
They're 1-1, aren't they? But of course they've got to go away from home.
Forgive me. They go to Sporting Lisbon, don't they? 8-11.
Difficult.
The Portuguese side. Your team, Ronnie, 100-30. Bolton to get something.
Get in there. Come on, boys. You can do it.
Right, here we go. Incredible news. I'm sorry to keep repeating myself, but people are tuning in. People have jumped in the car now. Here we go. Let's go down. Coral Cup Day at Cheltenham. Racing off. It's off. Why is it off? Let's hear from the MD of Cheltenham Racecourse, Edward Gillespie.
Did you want to race, or was it the police decision?
No, of course we always want to race, but we knew when Simon and I were here at 5 o'clock this morning, we knew from that moment onwards that the worst was that yesterday's forecast, which we were looking at till late yesterday, had been confirmed. Yesterday the forecasts improved overnight, and they haven't improved. They've been confirmed. We spoke with the experts directly today, and therefore, of course, we want to race, but we also don't want to put ourselves or the staff or the racegoers. And it was a real reminder when we lost the structure this week. Had that been occupied at the time, there would have been 600 or 700 people in a restaurant that just simply disintegrated. We can't afford to put people at risk on this side. Like any major sporting event, there will be temporary facilities, and let's enjoy tomorrow and the next day, and appreciate that today would have been an unsafe environment.
Yeah, Edward Gillespie, MD of Cheltenham, he told me he was steaming about the decision not to race today. No mention of the police there. We're told Gloucester police said, no, we did not say you can't race. So who has made this decision? Ronnie and Dave Stevens from Coral. Who's made it?
Well, I mean,
it's not Edward Gillespie, is it?
Well, no, again, somebody has to stand up and say that.
It's not Edward. Who's made the decision?
I mean, again, these punters want to know at least why it's been abandoned and who's made that decision. It's just adding to the confusion now, which I'm afraid is actually not doing anyone any credit at this stage.
Alan, I mean, the agency's obviously got them together and they've made the decision. I'm sure that the fire brigade would have been involved, the police,
No,
a mix of all the agencies.
No, Ronnie, the police have said no, not our decision.
It's beginning to sound like a bit of buck passing going on, isn't it? No, it wasn't my decision, Governor. That again, and that's not.
Do you know who it was? I think it was Prince Rupert Bell. I think he made the decision. 9:25.
The Transit Hour on talkSPORT with the new Transit Sport van. Feel the difference.
Get off cigarettes with talkSPORT and the NHS. Kick the habit for National No Smoking Day today. Go online at talksport.net/go smoke free.
Ask me to rebuild an engine, no problem. But get me garage up and running by myself, I'd have been a non-starter. Thankfully, my Barclays local business manager gave me all the support I needed to find new customers and get paid quicker to get the cash coming in. So now I've started my business, and things are taking over nicely.
Barclays. We're in business to help you take care of yours. Visit barclays.co.uk/talksport for details.
In a perfect world, we'd all be doing business with people we really like. Take driver hire. They put someone like you in touch with someone like me. I'm a driver looking for work. You need a driver. Maybe to cover a few shifts or maybe on a permanent basis. Either way, it's perfect. Everyone's happy. And it's not just drivers. They can help with all your staffing needs. So, whether you're looking for permanent or temporary staff or a career in the transport and logistics sector, call driver hire on 0800 358 551 or visit driverhire.co.uk. Driver hire. The perfect partnership.
Here's the deal. At Sainsbury's, it's 2 for £16 on selected cases of beer, including a 10-pack of Guinness, usually $14.29 each. Here's the idea. With St. Patrick's Day and the final matches of the Six Nations this weekend, it's a great reason to get your mates round. Sainsbury's, try something new today. Subject to availability, larger stores only. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, Mike. I've got your cup final tickets and booked you a cheap flight for that stag trip to Prague. And my sexy girlfriend has flown in and is looking forward to some fun time with the two of us. So come over when you finish with the boys in the pub tonight, if you like.
Wow. Alan Carr's Easy Way Clinics can't help you find the perfect girlfriend, but we could help you stop smoking. For details of our money-back guarantee, call 0800 389 2115. That's 0800 389 2115. £50 discount when you mention Lucky Mike.
Right, I'll have double egg, bacon, tomato and a fried slice, please, love.
Yeah, same for me, please. No, change that. Instead of bacon and tomato, I'll have sausage and beans.
For a really perfect combination, try the award-winning Vauxhall Combo range. There's fuel-efficient diesel engines, high-spec and a 3-year or 60,000-mile warranty. Now available from only $7,995. Conditions apply. Price for business users only. Excludes VAT at 17.5%, on the road charges, vehicle excise duty, fuel and insurance. Call Vauxhall on 0845 600 1500.
I want a builder's tea. Plumber's tea, actually.
Combo from Vauxhall Commercial Vehicles. The wheels of business.
The Transit Hour on talkSPORT with the new Transit Sport van. Feel the difference.
The mother of all talk shows, George Galloway, on talkSPORT.
The ideology of Karl Marx, with the bounce-back ability of Groucho Marx.
Comrade George Galloway, in for Comrade John Gaunt.
This morning, from 10,
on talkSPORT. You cannot tell the two of them apart.
Now, good morning. Coming up 27 minutes past 9 o'clock. I'm still smoking. I'm still raging. I can't believe it. I'm looking out there, overlooking the course. There's horses out there cantering, just on a little trot around. I'll be honest with you, if this hurricane's coming, where is it? I can't see it. I swear. Who has made the big decision? Who has made this a decision? We're told that the Gloucestershire Police Force have said, no, not us. Who's made the decision to cancel racing today? And what does that mean? Not just to Coral. What about all the people who have got hospitality here? They've booked clients. We're talking about people who have 60, 70 people. Some of the big ones have 200, 300 people. What happens to them? Unbelievable. People are walking the course. I swear there's litter from yesterday on the course. It's not even flapping about. Who's made this decision? Unbelievable. News and sports headlines, then we'll talk to Rupert Bell.
Racing at Cheltenham has been abandoned on day 2. High winds have made the temporary structures at the tented village unsafe. There's fears that flying debris could make things dangerous for spectators, staff and competitors. If you want to hear the full explanation Managing Director Edward de Gillespie gave to us, go to talksport.net and click through from the front page. Later this morning, Alistair Darling delivers his first budget as Chancellor against a backdrop of the worst economic conditions since Labour came to power. He's expected to freeze fuel duty but raise taxes on alcohol and cigarettes. A post-mortem will later try to establish how the head of one of Britain's biggest police forces died. The body of Michael Todd, who was the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, was found at the bottom of a cliff in Snowdonia. And the Ministry of Defence is at the centre of a new security row. It's emerged that 11,000 military ID cards have gone missing in the past 2 years. So the weather, severe gales in places, mainly over central parts of Britain today, with heavy and prolonged showers for most places at some stage, highs generally around 10 Celsius.
That's right, you listen to talkSPORT 1089 and 1053 on the medium wave. If you're heading to Cheltenham, turn around, go home, or you're going to have to come and enjoy yourself in the bars and restaurants around the area. Now we'll go to Moose with the sporting headlines.
Cheers, Ronnie. Well, as you just heard from Lisa and you've been hearing on talkSPORT, day 2 of Cheltenham has been abandoned. What does that mean for the races? They've all been saved. Tomorrow there'll be a 10-race card starting at 12:30. The Champion Chase will go off at 2:20 and the World Hurdle at 3:30. Friday there will be 9 races. The clash between Corto Star and Denman as planned, and also the Coral Cup, which has been abandoned from today. Now, anybody with tickets for today will not be be allowed admission tomorrow to Cheltenham. So if you were planning to go today, it looks like your Cheltenham Festival experience is over for this year. The old course will be used tomorrow, the new course on Friday. So please note, for some of the races, the distances will be just slightly different because the two courses are not identical. And don't forget, our Cheltenham update is thanks to Coral, talkSPORT's official partner for the 2008 festival. No problem about the weather for tonight's football. Everton and Spurs with it all to do in the UEFA Cup. Chelsea got a win over the Doubters, and it might not be full at the Bridge tonight against Derby. Elsewhere, Villa against Borough and Pompey Birmingham. Cardiff, before they play Hull, have a big date in the High Court today with their creditors, Langston. If they lose their case, they could be forced into administration. West Brom take on Palace. Games in League 1, 2 and Scotland. And if you missed the cricket news from earlier, England have dropped both Steve Harmison and Matthew Hoggard for the second test against New Zealand in Wellington tonight. Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson both come in.
Thank you, Moose. Ronnie said that Harmy should come home and have a nice break, a cruise, and come back in the summer. You're probably right.
Definitely.
Right, now, the news, honestly, if you've just joined us, Derek Thompson will tell us, I think Tomo's in agreement, like Rupert, with the executives here at Cheltenham. Of course, they've got to keep in with them, haven't they? But I'm stunned. I am stunned. I'm looking out there now. What a joke as far as I'm concerned. But what does it mean to people in business? Lawrence Delalio has got a big corporate operation. Rob is running from. Rob is outside. He's gutted as well. He's with Rupert Bell.
Yes, he is. Rob is with me. Rob, I'm disappointed, although Alan is convinced that I'm not. But for your side of it, running a business, this is a frustrating and a disappointing day.
Yes, we've got the green room, which is situated in the grandstand, not far from the studio here, and obviously the wind element doesn't affect us, but the whole thing's been cancelled. We have to phone our clients. We had 60 people coming here today. I phoned the clients, tell them not to come. All the staff that we use. Austin Healy was coming today with Lawrence as well, because Lawrence Delalio is involved heavily in it as well. It's just a terrible situation for us.
When you got to the racecourse, did you feel that this decision was likely to happen?
No, I mean it's breezy, but I don't think it's any breezier than it was yesterday, and it just seems stupid that it's come to this decision at this early stage.
But they're saying it's the tented village. You're in the main grandstand. The tented village is the real issue. Can you have any sympathy with the racecourse for their decision?
Yeah, I heard Edward on the show earlier on, and I can understand if people are standing out here in the open areas and there is a risk of roofs blowing off or debris flying around. There is that element, and I'm sure that's where they're coming from, although, like I say, the wind isn't much worse than yesterday.
So do you get refund from the racecourse, or how does it work?
It's a meeting I'm going to have with Edward Gillespie very soon indeed.
And he's going to have a lot of meetings, because there will be a lot of them. But overall, so will you try and get them in tomorrow, or is that just not possible? No. Or the ones who are coming Thursday and Friday, they're in for a bonus ball?
Yeah, I mean, most of the facilities around here, they're full up for Thursday and Friday, so the guys that have missed today, that's it.
Okay, well, what are you going to do for the rest of the day?
I'm going to speak to Alan Brazil about that.
I think he's already on to. You've got the table booked already, Alan?
We have now gone from 20 at Russell's and Broadway to 40.
The Essex nephew have moved in.
In being sincere, Rob there, right, he's got 60 people coming today. They've done it. They'll get the money back, but they won't experience a great day, Coral Cup Day. What a shame. They can't come tomorrow because Rob's company are full. And unbelievable. I look out here. I'm going to talk to Tomo in just a moment. Tomo thinks they made the right decision, like Rupert, but that's these guys mix with the executives all the time. Of course they're going to back them up. I'm fed up. I'm looking out there. I swear to you, there's not a breeze. Nonsense. Right, talkSPORT Travel next.
Hello, it's everybody's favourite slaphead anchorman. At least I think that's what they meant to put. James Whale here this afternoon. I'm the chief judge at the Pidlington and Knobchester County Show humorous vegetable competition, and I'll be very surprised if anyone can beat last year's winning carrot. It was shaped exactly like a greyhound's tallywhacker. Anyway, these things tend to drag on a bit, so my show tonight will be starting an hour later at 11. See you then.
Kick the Habit on talkSPORT with the free Get Support DVD, your essential guide to NHS support to help you kick the habit.
9:36 on talkSPORT now. God dear. talkSPORT and the NHS have been encouraging you to go, come on, smoke-free, and to show your dedication to quitting by registering for our 20 players tournament. The 20-player tournament is made up of 4 5-a-side teams, each representing a different show. Breakfast, John Gaunt.
Oh, that'd be a shocker.
I'll tell you what, if he's in goal, that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
H&J, you won't get the ball past him. H&J and Drive, and today we're selecting who's our third player.
Yeah, by the end of the week we'll have a complete team ready to take on the 3 other talkSPORT teams. We'll be supporting you all the way, because if you win you get to play against a talkSPORT All-Stars made up of some of your favourite presenters. Now we've got 2 candidates up for the 3rd place in the breakfast team, and they are Alan and Keith. Alan, are you there?
I am, thank you.
Morning. Why do you want to give up smoking, Alan?
I'm hoping. I've tried a few times, but I've entered the Great North Run this year, so I'm really determined.
Come on, mate, you can do it. You know it makes sense. And we got Keith on the line. Hello, Keith.
Good morning, Ronnie. Morning, Al. How are you?
Morning, Keith. I nearly said something. I'm fed up, let's say.
Yeah, well, leave that, Keith. Leave it alone.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Without stating the obvious, Keith, come on. Why do you want to give up Why do you want to give up smoking, mate?
I think, Ronnie, look, it's just from a health, quality and longevity in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got family, you know, you look forward to later on if you got grandkids, you don't want to be wheezing around trying to kick a ball with them or anything like that.
Absolutely, and hopefully here at talkSPORT we're going to help you to get through that.
We are. Right, to help us decide who's most worthy of representing the breakfast show, we're going to ask you guys 3 questions each about Ronnie and myself. The person with the most correct answers wins the 3rd place on our side. Right, here we go. Ronnie, have you got a pound?
Yep, got a pound in, mate.
Sling it on. Right, Keith, heads or tails?
Tails.
What is it? It is a tail. Would you like to go first or second, Keith?
I'll go first, please, Al.
Right, good luck to you. Ronnie, you're going to give Keith his 3 questions, and I'll do Al, okay?
Okay, here we go then. What year was Alan born in?
Yeah, and be sensible here, please.
Come on. I know he's looking old. I know he's looking a bit worn, especially this morning. He's stressed out big time.
I'm going to say 50... I don't know. I'm going to guess at 54.
You're close. What did you say?
54?
54.
Wrong.
No, 1959.
Get in there.
Sorry, Al.
Right, here we go.
I'm glad I picked Alan. Sorry, Keith.
Yeah.
Alan, what injury led to Ronnie Irani retiring for cricket?
Sorry, is that for Alan?
That's for Alan, yeah.
It's back.
No, it was his knee. Back to Keith.
We're going to get back to Keith. Here we go, Keith. Right then, mate. How many daughters does Alan have? And I must admit, all 3 of them are beautiful. How many daughters? How many daughters does Alan have?
Should we go for 3 daughters?
Yeah, brilliant. Well done, mate. I had to give you one in
this
there.
This is getting a bit personal.
No, not at all.
Back to Keith. What type? No, I can't do it. All right. What type of golf clubs do I use?
This is for Alan, yeah?
Alan, what type of golf clubs do I use? Tom said 3 ones out of order. What type?
The Irish firm. Come on.
Sounds like the guy who wants to punch John Gaunt's lights out.
Not
Galloway, it's...
That doesn't narrow it down much.
I'll tell you. Callaway was the answer. Back to you, Ronnie.
Yeah, okay, and then which... this is shocking. Which county was I born in? Now, I'm an Essex boy now, but where was I born? Which county? Now, that tube, the Irishman, yes, they got it wrong, didn't he? The old...
Mate, it wasn't Yorkshire County, was it?
Yorkshire. Yorkshire, wrong.
Why do these people say Yorkshire?
Last one, Alan, here we go.
Lancashire.
Alan, what is the nickname of Ronnie Irani's driver?
What? Sorry?
What is the nickname of Ronnie Irani's driver? It's not Dopey, although... I have to hurry, yeah.
Think of motor racing.
Formula
1.
Quick.
Lewis Hamilton. Don't know.
Lewis Hamilton. Can we give him that?
Yeah, come on.
I think that's a winner. Scores on the doors, please.
1 each.
1 each.
Tiebreaker, Al.
Right, here we go. Keith, quickly. How many one-day internationals did Ronnie Irani play in? And it's not 3.
1.
1.
Oh, what?
Well,
You're an embarrassment.
I know you're
You deserve to lose for that.
Alan, how many?
Get him off.
One-day internationals. well, more than that, 5.
More than that.
5?
Ronnie O'Reilly got 31 one day, and then Nasser took over, and that was the end of his career. That means, who won it? Is it Keith? Alan won it. Alan, well done. Alan wins. You're our third player, our third team player, Alan. Selected to play as part of our Breakfast 5-a-side side. We've got big competition coming up. You're coming, Al, on the 7th of April. Well done, pal.
Thank you very much.
Derek Thompson coming next.
Click talksport.net/go smoke free now and receive your free Get Support DVD, your essential guide to NHS support to help you kick the habit.
The Transit Hour on talkSPORT with the new Transit Sport van. Feel the difference.
Right, I'll have double egg, bacon, tomato and a fried slice, please, love.
Yeah, same for me, please. No, change that. Instead of bacon and tomato, I'll have sausage and beans.
For a really perfect combination, try the award-winning Vauxhall Combo range. There's fuel-efficient diesel engines, high spec, and a 3-year or 60,000-mile warranty. Now available from only $7,995. Conditions apply. Price for business users only. Excludes VAT at 17.5%. On the road charges, vehicle excise duty, fuel and insurance. Call Vauxhall on 0845 600 1500.
I want a builder's tea, plumber's tea, actually.
Combo from Vauxhall Commercial Vehicles. The wheels of business.
Well, you probably know, the low emission zone has now started. It covers most of Greater London and operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of the year. Right now it affects diesel engine vehicles over 12 tonnes, and from July it'll apply to lighter lorries, buses and coaches too. Cars aren't affected. To find out if your vehicle is affected by the low emission zone, visit tfl.gov.uk or call 0845 607 0009.
Hepatitis C just doesn't care. It doesn't care if you've got a good job. It doesn't care if you've got a nice house. It definitely doesn't care if you're married or not. Nor does it care that you only shared a needle once, and that was years and years ago in a previous life. It stays hidden until you start to have health problems, or you get a special blood test. Sharing a needle is just one of the ways of catching hepatitis C. For more information, visit hepc.nhs.uk or call 0800 451 451.
Saab don't do things by halves, or without very good reason, so the new 9.3 twin-turbo diesel must be something special. And it is. The twin-turbo lets you enjoy the power and performance of a larger petrol engine with the modest fuel consumption of a smaller diesel. And with CO2 emissions of just 149 GKM, you'll steer well clear of the proposed higher congestion charges. The powerful yet economical new Saab 9.3 twin-turbo diesel from 25,315 on the road. For details, visit saablondondealers.co.uk/TTID.
Vince, we're in trouble. The plumbing, the tiling, it's all going to be done before the wife's back. The car's not big enough, Vince.
Ease off, Gary. Study minds don't like calm as I turn the computer on and look at the Wix website.
Wix.co.uk is open 24/7, so you can shop any time and order before 6 p.m. You could get delivery the next day.
Sorted. It'll all be here tomorrow.
Oh, Vince, you and Wix are real pros.
A better pro than Plonker, Gary.
Wix help make the big projects easy. That's why they were voted #1 in an independent customer poll. Get down to Wix or visit wix.co.uk and put the pro in your project. Conditions apply.
talkSPORT Traffic and Travel with QuickFit.
Change your tyres at work. Book a mobile tyre service at quickfit.com.
Now don't forget, if you want to register for your free Get Support DVD on talksport.net/go smoke free or call 0800 085 5052 for your essential guide for NHS support. Come on, give up the spikes. Got to get rid of them. Kick the habit straight away. Now we're just going to go to travel with Donna.
Cheers, Ronnie. Well, the M25 clockwise then still got queuing traffic on the QE2 bridge. That's very heavily congested to almost junction 29. Stationary traffic at the roundabouts at junction 30 at 31 as well. All approaches looking completely and utterly stuffed. In Cheshire, the M6 northbound still remains closed because of an earlier overturned vehicle between junction 20 at the Lim interchange and junction 21. Southbound carriageway also closed. There is a diversion in place. In Kent, the M20 coastbound then remains closed because of Operation Stack between junction 8 and junction 9, and the M4 westbound at Cardiff, one lane's blocked and there's queuing traffic because of an accident between 30 and 32. If you're heading out onto the trains, then do check before you travel. Many services have been cancelled. I'm Donna Alos with talkSPORT Traffic and Travel.
On 1089 and 1053 AM, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, live from Cheltenham Racecourse on talkSPORT.
Now, good morning, 9:45. If you're just joining us in TalkSPORT, I'm so sad to give you news. If you're getting in your car or on a coach coming down to Cheltenham Races is off due to the danger of the high winds. A look out, it's bright, the sun's bursting through on the right-hand side. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it if you were here where we are. We are in the Coral Box in the main grandstand, we are sheltered, but looking out, there is no, in fact, I'd say it's better than yesterday, not worse, but the decision has been made. Join me now on TalkSPORT Live, Mike Cattermole, Top Man Channel 4, Derek Thompson, Tomo, of course. Tomo, you agree with the executives about this decision?
Al, first of all, can I say full marks to TalkSPORT, because this is the company who gave the first news that there was going to be a problem today, and you gave it first, so full marks to the breakfast show on TalkSPORT. It has alerted millions of people worldwide, and the 55,000 coming today. The problem is, it's down there, down the far end. It is not safe, Al. Honestly, I've been out on the track. You can stand there normally, and suddenly a gust of wind blows you over. I went round to Chuck Wagon with Channel 4 this morning at 6:30 to get a cup of coffee, and as I was trying to get my cup of coffee, the lid on the boiler went splat straight into my face. So that's how dangerous it is. So, and Kat is with me. Kat was supposed to be in the commentary today. What are your thoughts? Right or wrong decision?
Right decision, Derek, without a doubt, but I can just see, I know where Alan's coming from. You look out there now, it looks so benign, doesn't it? The conditions look fantastic. The wind seems to, well, you're looking at that marquee over there, Al. You can see the roof there, that plastic roof is a little bit dodgy.
Could they not have fenced the bad areas off like the village, the corporate village? Could they not have fenced it off, stop people from going there, and the punters could have come out on the terraces?
Too many punters running.
How many are you looking at? How many people would have been in there? 10,000?
20,000 in the Tenny Village alone?
Yeah, but yesterday, Kat, I was down at the glass-fronted boxes, which is, let's say, down by the last fence, and there was no one outside, there was no one on the tarmac there. I still think if you give people the opportunity, look, because a lot of people take days off work, they can't come tomorrow, they can't come Friday. If you said, look, come down, obviously there's going to be compensation because all the corporates are insured, or they should be. Come down. I think here there's plenty of room for another 20,000. They won't all get seats, but at least they'll see the World Cup second day of racing.
Do you know, Edward Gillespie was in charge of Alan. He said one telling thing this morning, the fact that Keith Prowse facility got blown over a couple of days ago was the warning they needed.
So why didn't they cancel yesterday?
Well, it wasn't quite so windy yesterday, was it? That was they repaired the damage.
I don't see any difference.
I think it's definitely gusted.
What is interesting, you're talking about the corporate people who pay a lot of money, send £500 a head. How are they all going to get in tomorrow?
Well, they can't. We're in the Coral Box now.
Yeah.
The people who
going to come in tomorrow.
If there's 25 people invited, top clients, they can't come tomorrow because there's already people coming for the.
Yeah, their tickets have been cancelled.
Yeah, if you have got a ticket for today, then you get a 100% refund. It doesn't entitle you to entrance tomorrow or Friday.
Oh, I mean, from a logistical point of view, in the office down there, I mean, they're top class. The people here, Edward Gillespie leads a very good team, but they're going to be flat to the boards. By the way, just getting back to the racing.
Who made the decision, Derek, by the way?
It was 8 o'clock this morning. Edward Gillespie and his board of directors were all in early.
Because everyone, police have said
Enriquez, Lord Vesti, everybody like that. By the way, just getting back to the racing, Chocolate Thornton, who's going to come in here, he's had to go to Huntingdon. So Chocolate Thornton not riding today, so there'll be a lot of jockeys rerouted to Huntingdon today.
I bet AP McCoy will be one of them.
AP McCoy, so watch this space. So
do you know what, Tom, AP McCoy? I won't mention the bookmaker's name. He said to me, McCoy's not fit. You know, that first, I said, I knew this was going to come. You're talking nonsense on the first race.
On board binocular.
Unbelievable. Yeah. They said if that was the real Tony McCoy, binocular would have won. Yeah. Nonsense. Tom, I don't know how you hold your hand up. You've got Big Ben on your left wrist. Listen, what's all this about?
Well, everyone's been asking me about it. It's this incredible watch. It's called a Pacione. It's BellagioTime.com. It's done by a guy called Mike Cohen who lives in Chester, and he does all the watches for the Premiership footballers. What is it?
Any chance of us having one of them? What?
Probably is
that. Is not like Big Ben. I can't believe the size of it. It's bigger than your wrist, Tomo.
Look at it though. It must have come out of a Christmas.
I've seen a few footballs with them on, actually.
They are good. I mean, the boys like something big and sort of brash, you know. Not that I do, of course, but I walk along like this. I sort of stoop now, but they are wonderful, and it tells the time in 5 different continents. So wherever I am in the world, I remember where I am.
I'm not having this. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. It does as well. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 5 faces on it.
On a serious note, Kat, tomorrow you've got, is it 9 races tomorrow?
Is it 10 tomorrow and 9 on Friday?
10, really?
Yeah.
trust me.
It's going to be
We're in the Coral Box, Coral Cup, of course, now on Friday. So tomorrow's going to be a great day racing. Look, let's think positive now.
Yeah.
They've made the decision. I'm so sorry for people who have taken the day off work, who are coming down. I'm sorry it's off, but tomorrow's going to be massive.
And also, think of the sponsors as well. We've got the Coral Cup. Today's big race was the season's holidays Cream of the Champion Chase. The chairman was going to fly in his helicopter. He was bringing someone who'd been looking forward to this day. They were having a VIP day out. So all those things have got to be changed. So it's not going to be easy, but it has been done for safety's sake. Just imagine if we had gone ahead running and it's just something. The standard blown down.
There'll be a lot of angry punters, Tom. People, I'm talking about normal punters who come here, they go in the Arco bar, have a couple of pints of Guinness and watch the race. They're going to be gutted.
And nothing might have happened, but just say something did. And there's more going on behind the scenes. There's insurance, there's all this sort of thing. It's not just a case of standing out there. I think there's more to it than that.
In this day and age, they can't take the chance, Alan. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Well, it is.
I did mention mamby-pamby people earlier. Maybe I was a little bit strong. Maybe I'm just angry because I look out there and I don't see a problem.
We're all
and more importantly, I know poor old Michael Fish will never ever forget. When the hurricane came along, it was like that. I shouldn't say it. It was like that Iraqi general said, "No, we're in total control." An American tank goes behind them. Poor Michael Fish had that problem as well. Then he got it totally wrong. But John Ketley told us it will improve today.
After 3 o'clock, though. That's the problem. It's so frustrating. What are we going to do, Derek?
Well, this is actually, I was going to ask you. We've got 2.5 hours. Well, there's 3.5 between 1 o'clock and 4:30 on Channel 4.
You better take the paracetamol now, lads, because Mr. Brazil is just going to lead us down to Broadway and Russell's.
Oh no! Oh, well, it sounds good, doesn't it? But I don't think it's going to be that good. Well, what are you guys going to do? Are you literally going to hit the pub?
We're talking long lunch.
So what are you going to do, Kat? What are you going to do? Are you going to go to the lap dancing club again?
Breakfast to begin with, Tom. That's for sure.
Coming up, goodness me, I shouldn't have mentioned that Iraqi general because it's not gone today. It's George Galloway. George, is he your mate? Good morning.
Give my regards to Broadway, lads.
Hey, how are you, George?
I'm fine. I'm sorry about your disappointment, but as we say in Glasgow, so sad, too bad, never mind.
So sad, too bad, never mind. Brilliant. Listen, our thanks to Mike Cattleman and Derek Thompson, of course, Rupert Bell. Brilliant. Georgie, what are we talking about? What are we talking about in your show?
Well, we're talking about drink driving. The drink driver who left a 10-year-old girl blind in one eye and partially sighted in the other has walked free from the court.
Right.
So many of these drunk drivers who'd ruin people's lives are walking free, and we're asking if custodial sentences are not a better answer to that problem, and whether we shouldn't ban any alcohol in the bloodstream by drivers at all.
George, look, who knows what you can have? Can you have a pint and a half? Can you have 1 pint? Can you have 2 you over the top? If you have, let's say, a brand like Stella rather than normal Carling or Carlsberg, why don't, look, with the greatest respect, I'm in court next month, I'm not going to go into that, right? But what I will say is simply this, George, people don't know, right, if they've had 2 glasses of wine, 2 small glasses of wine, if they're over or not. Should the time come now, if you have 1 drop, that's it?
That's exactly it. That's what I'm arguing for today, Al.
Well, you will do, George, because you're a teetotaler, but a lot of people like a glass of wine with a dinner.
Yeah, but they don't need to drive at the same time. We're also looking at the budget, of course. Alistair Darling, when I first met him, he was to the left of Mao Zedong, but today he's going to be delivering a neoliberal budget that will probably put thousands of people out of work. And, you'll love this one, Al, we're talking about the Great Britain test. This guff about saluting flags and pledging allegiance and all the rest, that'll go down well in some parts of Glasgow, some parts of Belfast, some parts of Derry.
George, what about, just a quickie, one of the headlines in the paper, was it this morning, I think at the Times, that the Scots are rebelling against the allegiance to the Queen in schools? What's wrong with that, George? What is wrong with that?
Well, I have to swear allegiance to the Queen and her heirs and successors in order to take my seat in the House of Commons.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't believe a word of it. I have no allegiance to the Queen or her heirs and successors.
George, my allegiance is still banned.
I was only banned 17 days last summer. My allegiance is to the people of this country, not to some previously German monarch and her heirs and successors, however barmy they might turn out to be. So this idea, look, you and I are old enough to remember when they played the national anthem in the cinema. And by the time it had finished, there was only the man cleaning up left in the cinema.
Absolutely.
The British don't go for vulgar shows of fake patriotism. That's my argument. I'll be making
the
it.
big question I must ask you, and we're full in the coral box here, are you going to let the listeners speak today when they come through to George Galloway? Or are you going to shout them down?
I'm gonna let them speak even longer than John Gaunt allows them to speak.
Fantastic.
Sorry, Gaunty. George, you have a great show. We're going to lunch on talkSPORT.
George.
Back tomorrow. We are I think we're racing tomorrow on talkSPORT. I'm so sorry. What a letdown today. The sun is shining in Cheltenham. There's not a breeze in sight. I'm sorry. We're back tomorrow.
The Transit Hour on talkSPORT with the new Transit Sport Van. Feel the difference.